We are so back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the weekly comic wrap up, episode 110. That's right. We took one Sunday off last week, and it was a heavy one. I ate way too much. That's right. It was Canadian Thanksgiving. I felt it all week up until this weekend, and then the weekend came around, and I had my cheat meals, and here I am again, feeling heavy. But regardless of that, lots to talk about. Yes, we're going to bring you the FOC selections of the week, followed by the market report, and of course, we've got the hot topics. And man, gotta say, like 1 week away, it was crazy on the interwebs, man. We had the Mark Spears blind bags drop, which shout out to Mark Spears because I saw my timeline filled with nothing but people opening up packs. But some of the feedback was rather interesting, man. I saw different perspectives here when it came to the blind bag. So we'll dive into some of that conversation as well and so many other things. But of course, before we get into the rest of all this awesomeness that I just brought up, let's give a quick shout out to Comic Legion. That's right. Comic Legion is going live tomorrow night, Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time over on their YouTube channel. Go check it out. Comic Legion has Lefteros, who is hosting the new Comic Book Day sale alongside Chia, where they give you the opportunity to pick up the books that are dropping this week. So if you didn't pre-order any of the books, you have an opportunity to grab those that you may have missed out on. So again, 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night over on Comic Legion's YouTube channel. And tonight, yes, although I said we have FOC, the market report, and hot topics, but yes, most importantly, we have the return of Steve. That's right. Every week we're following Steve through his comic journey. He is new to the hobby, has never really dove into the comic scene whatsoever. But now he's about a month into this, and I think he's read probably more than some people I know, to be honest with you. The guy's been reading like crazy. He's been catching up, reading, watching MCU, watching all superhero movie, etc. So let's catch up with him. Let's see what he's been up to because, yeah, man, I'm curious. I know he hit me up and told me he actually went to a shop near my house and nobody had anything good to say about me. But anyways, tonight's guest, guys, we gave him a different name tonight. I know we always know him as Travis MILLSAPS. Yeah, he's coming on every second or third Sunday, but we went with the Trek Wars. I want you guys to go check out the Trek Wars page as well. I want to motivate him to get back into doing his stuff. He was doing stuff alongside Phil, and they were doing great stuff over on that channel, man. That was just so underappreciated. So I hope you guys take a second to go check him out, guys. Yeah, we have Travis tonight. What's up?
Big dog in the house.
What's up?
Yeah, not much, man. Not much, dude. It's been a minute. I mean, I got to hang with you this week. Last week over on Covrprice, but it's been a minute since we hung out here. It's been a minute, so I'm excited to have you here.
It has. I was a little taken aback. I was like, oh, have I forfeited my spot, my regular scheduled appearances on Sundays? But I'm back. Something has happened. Something. There's been a change of conscience on your side, and I'm not sure what it is.
We're in hockey pools and football pools together. Ever since then, things have changed. You know,
things have changed. We're getting very competitive.
We are. I mean, you're fighting by yourself for that bottom seed because that's
right.
Where you're at.
You're right.
That's where you're at.
As well I should be.
Yeah, it's okay. I ain't doing good in football, man. I'm actually, you know what? It sucks. Every week, man, I'm just getting annihilated. And my team took so many injuries, but here I am, finally getting
you put a week together, my guy.
Dude, I'm putting so many points up this week, and still I may lose to Lefteros. So this sucks. This absolutely sucks.
And to be honest, like, bro, I'm not cheering for your loss, but there's nobody that it is funnier for you to lose to than the king himself. So this is a little. I gotta say, I hate it for you, but this is pretty enjoyable.
Screw you, Travis. But anyways, dude. Well, speaking football, before we get into anything else, did the Panthers win today? I didn't check.
You're damn right they did.
There you go. That's why you're in a good mood today.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, we have lots to go over. I know Baltimore con also took place this weekend. I saw some people that were out there. Totally missed out on doing an episode last week, although it was New York Comic Con. Dude, so much stuff from New York Comic Con hitting the aftermarket as well. It was awesome to see. We got to touch on that briefly over on the top 10. I'm curious to see where some of those books are settling now after, one full week since the con. But yeah, dude. Besides that, you want to see something else I did this weekend? Chat, I want to show you guys. I didn't make it out to New York Comic Con. No, I didn't. But if you guys tuned into the top 10 show on Monday, you saw Izzy flexing, right? Izzy was flexing some goods. Well, guess what? I didn't need to go to New York Comic Con. I did get this, and I'm so happy about this. Guys, keep an eye out. The only reason why I wanted to show you these, because yes, it does come with the Mark Spears cover right there as well. Really neat. But the reason why I wanted to show you guys this is because I saw that GameStop had these as pre-orders, Walmart, etc. But it seems they're already hitting the shelves. And another one that I didn't even know existed was actually this one here, which is the OG Spawn, of course, as you can see. But it does carry the Spawn 77 black and white here. So I'm gonna crack these open. Not today. But honestly, I'm probably gonna hurt myself because I'm pretty tired opening this. But yeah, I do want to check out what the comic is about. But I wanted to let you guys know that I walked into a GameStop and saw that there. So that being said, there's a good chance there's still some out there in your shops. Check out the Walmarts, but they're available for pre-order on the websites, and I don't know why they have the pre-order if they're also hitting the shop. So I don't know what's going on that front, guys. So just keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. I spent too much money, dude. Too much money.
I wanted to go and try to grab one or two of those, but I just never got out of the house this weekend. So yeah, it unfortunately, I believe that ship has probably sailed, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, I want to shout out the chat showing up. That's right. Even though I did take a week off. Normally, I feel if I take a week off, you guys are going to get mad and be like, no, dude, what the hell? You bailed on us last week. We're bailing on you this week. But no, you're here. So I appreciate you all being here. Travis, let's kick off the FOC selections of the week. Are you ready, sir?
Hell yeah.
Lego. All right, guys, it's time for the FOC selections of the week by none other than Lefteros. That's right. So if you guys want to check out more into this list as well, Lefteros does have articles over on Covrprice's website. So go check out covrprice.com. Now, for tonight's list, being for the week of October 20th, if there's any books you guys like and you want to pre-order and you happen to live in the United States, go visit comicnation.us. They give you 15% off of the cover price, but get an additional 5% off by using discount code Black Crown in Canada. Comic Legion, that's right. You just got to hit comiclegion.ca. They give you 20% off of the cover price every single week. But if it's your first order, use the discount code ENLIST to get an additional 5% off. Your first order, 25% off. And yes, they both do hold boxes. So if you guys want to do that, you can do that as well. So let's kick off tonight's list. Travis, first book we have is Batman Dark Patterns, issue 12. We have the cover A right here. It's the final issue of the Epic series by Dan Waters and Hayden Sherman. Now, I know this is the last issue. I was telling you backstage, although this is the last, I am nowhere close to the last when it comes to reads. So I can't put emphasis on the fact that this is epic. But I know you can, sir. So please take this one away.
Sure. Yeah. So this is a cool series, especially if you're kind of into that Batman kind of year one kind of stuff, where Batman kind of doesn't totally have it all together yet. He's kind of getting challenged. He's kind of put in some tough spots. This is kind of like a a full 12 issue miniseries, but there's different arcs within the miniseries, and yeah, it's been a great read. Great new villain introduced in this series early in the first couple of issues. It's a really fun ride. I mean, like I said, it is set early. There's no Robin here, you know. Like Gordon's a lieutenant. Like this is all set pretty early. It's very detective-esque, and I've enjoyed the crap out of it. Now I'm a couple issues behind, but I'm mostly caught up, and it has been a lot of fun. Dan Waters has done a great job, and Hayden Sherman, if you have read Absolute Wonder Woman, you will recognize Hayden Sherman's art immediately. It's all over this, and it looks really good. So great book. If you're not reading it, pick it up. At this point, some of the issues are kind of hard to get. Some of them have popped a little bit on the aftermarket, but yeah, the early ones have popped with the new villain, the Wound Man. But with the final issue coming up, we're probably going to get a trade of this pretty soon, or at least a 2-part trade. You know, we got 12 issues, so yeah. I mean, at this point, you might just be better off waiting for the trade. It might be easier to read. But either way, it's definitely a must read. It's been a great series, and Lando, you should catch up.
Yeah, no, totally. And it's funny that you guys are mentioning the trade because you just brought it up, and I saw somebody else mention it in the chat. It was Derek saying that he's waiting for the trade as well. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they're already talking about that. I think I saw somebody posting. I don't remember if it was somebody from DC or whatever, but I did see trade talk. So I think trade is a great option. You know, I was talking with Gabe about how we should start talking about more trade paperbacks and stuff like that, man. And I would love to see that.
It's hard to keep up with. I think that would be like a beneficial thing to kind of bring up every now and then, because I think for the regular comic buyer, I think it can be a little hard to keep up with. I mean, I know my brain only has so much space between FOC, new release day, you know, aftermarket, what I should be looking out for. Like,
I'm surprised it goes that far, but continue.
Right, exactly. Like there's smoke coming out of the ears. But you know, it truly, keeping up with trades and collected editions is kind of tough at times. And I do think that would be a cool thing to kind of bring up, because I think it would add some flavor there. And some people just read trades, and I wish I did that sometimes when I look at how much space I don't have.
Yeah, I was telling you backstage, you guys remember there used to be a guitar here. I have no more space. It's gonna fall on me eventually, guys. Like eventually you're gonna just see white boxes all around me, because that's where we're headed. But anyways, Batman Dark Patterns issue 12 is on FOC this week. Moving on, we got Daredevil Punisher, The Devil's Trigger #1, a main cover here. New Daredevil and Punisher miniseries, which, hey, man, give me a miniseries. You got Palmiotti on this one, which is amazing to see. Now, of course, we already know there's there's the Punisher Red Band. There's the Marvel Knights Punisher one as well. So there's 2 series there. A nice little mini. Throw it in. Let's go, man. I'm okay with this. I love seeing Daredevil and Punisher together.
Yeah, I've got to be like the worst Daredevil reader ever, because I don't do a good job of keeping up with Daredevil most of the time unless it's a mini. For some reason, I never stay on like the main series, and I just got to say, like, nothing suckers me in more than a good Daredevil cover, and I love this one. This one's fantastic. Kendrick Lim crushes this. But yeah, miniseries, Jimmy Palmiotti. Like, I'm gonna have a hard time not picking this up, just because this is cool.
Yeah. No, dude, it's awesome. It's so funny because the chat is going in over the fact that all these boxes are coming this way. Dude, it's really bad. Like I told you, and it goes far back, so it's kind of concerning.
It's a fire hazard.
Absolutely. No, I'm getting close to the door, dude. Like my door is like right here. So like I'm now entering the full basement at this point. But yes, buried in this hobby, dude. I've told my wife, man, if you're gonna bury me, just make sure it's a casket that resembles a long box. Although she could get away with putting me in a short box. But anyways, Daredevil Punisher, The Devil's Trigger #1 is on FOC this week. Moving on, okay, Department of Truth issue 34. The cover A alone is wicked good. Like, I love the cover for this one, but we have the secret history of Elvis Presley, and it is a backup story. You got Tynion on here, and of course Scott Snyder, which again, this is amazing because this is the first time that Tynion's like letting anybody else pretty much write Department of Truth, man. And I loved, dude, I know you loved it. Department of Truth Zero. I know you picked up that 1 in 50. You lucky man. You lucky man.
Was I, or my wife was the lucky woman here? I mean, it wasn't for me. I got nothing out of it except a lighter bank account.
Yeah. So it's in her collection now. It's in her.
It's went directly into her long box. So it's one of her many long boxes over here. Yeah, no, this is cool. And you know, it's interesting you said that. Hyper, what's up? It's interesting you said that about Tynion and not really letting anybody else on the series. It's interesting that it was Snyder, right? Because when Tynion was kind of getting his legs underneath him, Snyder was bringing him in on some of those Batman books back in the day, back in the early 2010s, and you know James Tynion was still kind of getting out there and stuff. And it's interesting to see, you know, like obviously Snyder's a household name, right? But it's cool to see them continue to kind of bring each other in on things and just kind of add to that dynamic between the two of them, because it always works.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like it's kind of funny how the roles have been reversed, but yeah, Snyder is
no, he's not just getting his legs underneath him. Yeah, it's just they're both super well established. I just love that they haven't kind of I love that they haven't gotten to the point to where like they're just completely stopping working with each other, because it's always been a very fruitful combo for writers as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love it. And dude, like I said, Department of Truth Zero, you know, from great covers, great read. I'm back on board Department of Truth. I'm gonna be honest. Like I felt like the delays kind of sucked. And you know, somebody like Steve, who we're gonna speak to in just a few minutes, you know, he had the opportunity to fully read Department of Truth in one shot, right? And he's obsessed with this series. So I think sometimes it takes that spark, that respark again. And although the delay did kind of suck and hurt, but it just continues to deliver. I really, really, really enjoyed Department of Truth Zero.
I think someone said, I don't know if it was on the top 10 or if it was on the new comic book day show. I can't remember specifically, but someone said that, hey, if the series is good enough, the delay isn't going to hurt it that bad. And I think that's absolutely accurate here. I mean, I don't think anybody that was adamantly reading Department of Truth stopped reading it because of the delay. Everybody that I know is still reading the crap out of it. So
yep. But anyways, we've got Department of Truth, issue 34 on FOC this week. Up next, we've got Star Wars Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red, issue number 3. Main cover here, first appearance of Jasper. Did I say it right? But I actually, wasn't this character in a film? I think it was A New Hope or something.
I don't know. See, now this is where you're gonna get me. My crazy in-depth knowledge doesn't go quite as far in the Star Wars as it does Star Trek. I love them both and know quite a bit, but that's I'm not sure. You're gonna have to check that one out.
No, it is. I remember seeing. Hold on, look at the look of this character. Hold on, I gotta pull this up.
Pull.
I am. Take it easy, bro. You're hurting my feelings.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew, dude. I've got a chode-sized Gatorade tonight. I have no idea.
I'm gonna shout out my local brewery. I've got the Sycamore Mountain Candy IPA. So there you go. I don't usually do IPAs, but we're doing one tonight.
Here, hold on. I found it. So yeah, this was the character, dude.
He keep that thing on him, don't he? My God.
There you go. A New Hope. Alien Bounty Hunter. Yeah. Making now in comics, so that's gonna be fun.
Gotcha.
Time. Yeah, fun times. Yeah, he was just a background character. Steve knows his stuff. The guy knows Star Wars. He doesn't read comics, but he knows Star Wars.
I could like you could tell me that this was no first appearance. Nothing interesting is happening at all, and I'm buying it solely for the EMGS cover. That dude absolutely crushes Star Wars covers. I mean, every single one I see, I have to grab. This is amazing, to be on the main cover, this is a fantastic deal. You don't have to pay extra for it.
Yeah, exactly. No premium. It's not an incentive ratio. Nothing. You get an EMGS cover at regular cover price. So there you go. Star Wars Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red. Issue number 3 is on FOC this week. Up next, oh god, yes, man. Conan the Barbarian, issue 26. This one being the cover C. We have Bart Sears himself doing this cover, and man, Bart Sears doing Bart Sears things. Absolutely knocking this one out of the park. Now, Conan the Barbarian's been having amazing covers, one after the other. You got Panosian, you got so many amazing covers. Obviously, I'm slightly biased. You know that when it comes to Panosian, but man, Bart Sears, dude. I love Bart Sears. Shout out to Jeb for putting me on the Wizard magazine stuff that Bart Sears had done. Because yeah, man, that issue 9 of Wizard 9, Wizard 9, dude, Bart Sears crushed that cover, crushed it, and I've been obsessed with Bart Sears stuff, and I really need to pick up this cover. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think you got to. I mean, legendary. I mean, just legendary artist. Like, this is fantastic. Like, I don't know when the last time I intentionally bought a Conan book was, and that's not hating on Conan. That's just I don't actively collect it. So like I picked it up in like lots and stuff like that. Oh, look, that's cool, whatever. This one's probably worth the grab here. This isn't a ratio or anything like that, just a variant.
Yeah, dude, it's just a variant. It's not
crazy.
A ratio, it's nothing, dude.
That's crazy. What a deal.
Yeah,
love it. Getting good covers for good prices. Let's go.
Yep, I'm all for this one. This one I'm gonna pick up off FOC, man. Bart Sears crushed this cover, man. I absolutely love this. So yeah, total pickup for myself. Conan the Barbarian, issue 26. Moving on from this one though, we've got Court, Children of the Round Table, issue 3, cover A right here. An Akira homage. Surprise, surprise. But it is a cover A, and this cover is by Daniele Nicolo. Sorry, I almost botched that. Now, it's interesting, to say the least. Look, the story itself, Court has been okay. I mean, look, we've seen these types of stories before. It's not like we haven't. It's, a group of kids. They end up with these, awesome weapons / powers, whatever. And look, 2 issues in, I think it's fun. What really stands out to me is the artwork inside the book, because Daniele, I don't know if you guys remember 7 Secrets. The series 7 Secrets was one of my favorites, no joke. And the artwork within that book, the colors, like just everything, the art, it stood out. It was very bright. It was in your face. It was very clean. And man, Daniele does exactly that. When I was reading this, I was like, man, this feels a lot like 7 Secrets, man. The artwork feels a lot like that, and it was just awesome to look at. Akira homage, like I said, not surprised to see this one taking place, but still very, very cool. Like I said, if you guys are in this for the read alone is pretty interesting. Nothing too crazy. I think my kids would actually really enjoy this one.
This one's kind of flown by me. I didn't know about this. So interesting though. Tom Taylor on writing duties, so he usually doesn't miss. So probably worth the read just for that alone, is that Tom usually does really, really, really good work. And but yeah, this I mean, Akira homage or not, I like the cover. I think it's cool. I don't, you can see the similarities, but it doesn't feel like overly homaged, I guess. Is that like it's like a diet homage? It's definitely an homage though. It's like 100%. So yeah, it's cool. I like the cover. I dig it. And you got me wanting to check out, what was it, 7 Secrets? Is that what you said?
Yeah, dude, it was so good. 7 Secrets was absolutely amazing. I do agree with you guys saying that, Tom Taylor is obviously awesome. But again, I kind of felt like this was not entirely for me. Younger crowd, for sure. It really feels like it's for a younger crowd, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Kind of, as I said, these kids come across, like they're trying to pull out a sword from a rock type thing, and one of them ends up pulling it out, and then bang, they all of them who tried ended up with different weapons, etc. It was an interesting first issue, but I felt like it was lacking a bit of meat. But I'm gonna continue to read it, see how it goes, and man, who knows, man? This might take off and be amazing. For me, 7 Secrets out the gate from front to back was just so good. So please,
I'm gonna have to check it out for sure. Yeah.
good.
If you're crazy about it, I gotta at least read it just to see if I don't like it, because then I can just talk trash. But if I do like it, then hey, party! I got another thing to like. That's great.
Yeah, you know what? I like this. I like this comparison right here. DC's version of Power Pack. It's
Okay.
pretty close. Pretty close. It's prime for cartoon guys. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is Daniele's art style within this book is so fitting for this type of story, and the colors, everything. The art is clean. It pops. It's very bright, vibrant, in your face. Really stunning book on the inside, and a pretty good story. So yeah. Anyways, moving on from this one, guys. Wow, what a cover. This is a cover selection this week, and oh my. Marvel Zombies, Red Band, issue number 3. This is a Koblish variant. It's a Zombie Thanos and Marvel Universe cover depiction by Koblish. Oh yes, I like this. Infinity Gauntlet, I want to say they give a nod to it. It's not an homage whatsoever.
It's definitely a nod. It's definitely a nod. That's the first thing I thought of.
We can't say it's an homage. I mean, he's up there, like he's standing over those bodies. Is that Wanda he's standing right over, like with the fist in the air? He's looking rock and roll, bro. And then you've got this whole Infinity Gauntlet issue 1 vibe going around that. I really like this, dude. This is good.
So Koblish did the slick wraparound for DCKO, right? The one we were talking about that looked like classic, like Infinite Crisis DC with just a million characters. I got something. I mean, like, here's another one of these kind of just like smashed together a whole bunch of characters here in one frame. I personally love covers like that. I love covers that you can just sit and look at for like, an hour and just continue to find new little details and stuff. It's like we were talking about with Skinbreaker, right? Like, you can just sit there and look at it over and over again and find something different. I like covers like this because you can do that, and Koblish has got that, kind of got a knack for that, especially the last couple months. So this is cool.
Yeah, I really dig this cover. This is a total cover grab for myself. I'm pre-ordering this one. I like this. So yeah,
shocker.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't even care about the read of Marvel Zombies. I read issue 1 and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Issue 2, now here we go. They got me with a cover. So that's where I'm at. So we'll leave it at that when it comes to Marvel Zombies, Red Band issue 3. Moving on, another nice cover right here is Mr. Terrific Year 1, issue number 6, cover B right here. And it is a Valentine Delandro cover. Okay. I'm not too familiar with Delandro. Are you?
Nope, but I love it. This is sick. This is so sick. I haven't read this yet. I haven't read any of the issues of this yet. Have you?
No, I you know what? It's funny because Mr. Terrific was a highlight out of the movie, and you would figure a lot of people would want to be on this.
Like obviously they're trying to capitalize on the popularity here and everything right now, but I haven't read this, and I saw it on the shelf, but I hadn't picked it up, and it was like issue 3 or 4. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to catch up before I go out and start buying individual issues. But I want to read it, but I really want this cover now. This is fantastic.
So we'll make a deal. All right, we're gonna have to speed read this between us, so that by you're on tomorrow night with me on Covrprice.
Yep.
We'll say by next Monday. We'll have some chats about this because I kind of want to give it a read, dude. I love Mr. Terrific. Don't get me wrong. It's just this one's been totally overlooked on my side.
Yeah, absolutely. And JD's right. It's terrific. Did I say fantastic?
Oh.
What kind of a DC fan am I?
Your dad jokes. You're slipping, dude.
I'm slipping, bro.
Come on, man. You were just like losing it at somebody at Lowe's, and now here we are.
Yeah, that's dad life, bro. Hashtag dad life.
I love it. But yes, Mr. Terrific Year 1, number 6, a very stunning cover for done by Delandro. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Delandro. So there you go. No, not Jolando. But anyways, moving on. We've got, Transformers 25, the cover D. Miles Mayhem character spotlight variant depiction by Jason Howard. Now, we've seen many of these character spotlight variants throughout multiple prints when it comes to Transformers, even Void Rivals, etc. But I have to highlight this right here, guys. thumbnail tonight because Shredhead is the bomb. Transformers issue 26, cover B right here. You've got Shredhead on the cover, and the cover is done by Daniel Warren Johnson himself, who, as you guys know, as of issue 25, things have shifted for the Transformers book. That's right, man. Now you've got Daniel Warren Johnson here writing for issue 26, but remember issue 25. We had Robert Kirkman and Dan Mora. Now, dude, the changeover within issue 25 was so sick. Did you read it?
I haven't read it yet. I just picked it up like
I'm gonna, you know
2
what?
days ago.
I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. I don't even care because it was that good in my eyes. So check this out, okay? You got Daniel Warren Johnson art within the book. It kicks off Transformers 25. As you can see, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but you got the all hail Megatron. Clearly, a certain somebody is not in the best shape right now. Things are starting to fade. The slow fade into the face, dude, while the all hail Megatron is going on. Feels like a movie, dude. You can feel it fading away, and then they slap you with this. Boom! That's right. They hit you with that as they transition into the new art, as you can see. And it is so well done, dude. So well. Tell me that doesn't feel like a movie.
It absolutely does. I mean, we literally get the immediate changeover. It's like cutting to the opening credits and then cutting immediately back into the movie. It's pretty slick.
Yeah. I love it, dude. I love it so much, so much. Yeah, dude. You know what? Lefteros isn't wrong, man. People are sleeping on issue 25 of Mask, but yeah, this was so well done, man. And I'm just really enjoying the Transformers stuff. I'm geeking out. That's what I'm doing.
I mean, we all we talked about this. We talked about this a little a while back, and you know, when as good as it has been with Daniel Warren Johnson. Working on Transformers from the jump, and nobody has anything bad to say about this series. Or at least I have yet to meet a person. I'm sure somebody out there has a negative review of it, but I have met very few. And Daniel Warren Johnson's work for the first 24 issues was insane. And then you're thinking, okay, all right, creative team switch. Yikes. All right, what are we going to do? And then you say, oh, well, we're just going to hand it over to Kirkman and fucking Dan Mora. And it's like, oh, well, I might like this more. And that's not a knock against Daniel Warren Johnson. It's just, It's just like, could you hand it over to like a bigger powerhouse of a creative team? I mean,
yeah, dude,
it's insane. So, yeah, I am so excited. Like I said, I haven't read issue 25. I did pick up the Nakayama cover, and I think I picked up the die cut cover. I was very super excited about picking up on this new creative team, because who doesn't love Dan Mora, and who doesn't love Robert Kirkman?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's so funny because you brought up the die cut cover, and I got to share a story. I went to my LCS next to my house yesterday, and I brought my youngest son with me. He just turned 4 last week, and he's walking the shop. I see the die cut, and I take it off the shelf, right? So I look at him, and when I call him, and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, who's this?" And I show him the cover. He looks in his like most innocent voice. He's there. He's like, "That's Optimus." I'm there, and the guy at the counter looks at me like this. He's like, that was the nod. It was the nod. He's like, I knew exactly what he was saying at that point. He's like, yeah, that's parenting done right, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's awesome, dude. The die cut is stunning. The book has been amazing. So yes, without saying, dude, it goes without saying. Transformers 26 is one I'm totally picking up this week. But moving on, speaking second prints, later prints, we've got Absolute Batman issue 12. This one being the second printing, which look, it's a second printing of issue with multiple first appearances. Now, if there's anybody who loves to talk Absolute Universe, I won't speak too much. I'll hand it over to the guy who actually had a show dedicated to this, who needs to bring it back. Go ahead.
I know we need to have our big 2-hour catch-up spectacular. But yeah, if you're not keeping up with Absolute Batman, what are you doing? I don't know what to say. Like, it's one of the hottest books on the market every single month. This reprint, I gotta say, like, I was a little disappointed with getting basically the same cover, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. Whatever, it's cool.
I'm not. I hate it. But anyway.
It reminds me of the New 52 era when they would do this constantly, where it was just some minor difference, and some jackass named Travis walks into a comic shop and picks up Batman #5, and it's the wrong printing, but it looks exactly like the first printing. The only difference is the color of the letters. I'm not bitter. No, but so this is it's been a great read. It's been so much fun to go from issue after issue after issue. It's just like JD said, every issue seems to have some kind of major holy shit moment, and that is a little different from every other Absolute series. I think some of them are a little slower burning. Some of them, I know that some people have been saying, oh, I'm ready for this to pick up. I'm ready for this to pick up. Well, it's hard because when you're reading Absolute Batman, it's always up. There is no down ever with this series. So if you're not reading, this series, you should be at least catching up with trades. The trades are coming out now, so you should be catching up. But if you didn't get this book, go grab it. It's a big, important book, and sometimes these later printings can, they can be lower printing. So you never know. You might luck into a nice low print run.
Yeah. Well, Theros is saying that it's because Snyder is using the classic periodical format. And yeah, man, look, like I said, for me, it's kind of annoying. I do agree. I love, look, let's take issue 1. Issue 1, we're getting so many different ones. And somebody just brought it up in the chat, how the issue #1 is gone to an 8th printing by Jay Lee. And Jay Lee did multiple later prints for multiple titles on the Absolute Universe. And I love them. I love them all. And I love seeing things like that. I want to see something new. Although I do get it. The recoloring thing.
Look, Chia said second prints used to always just be recolors, and that is fine. Just go back to Batman 2011 issue 5. Look at the 5th printing; it is damn near the same thing as the first cover. And I didn't read. Okay, fair enough. I didn't know that it had went to 5 printings at that point. I was like, "There's no way this isn't the first printing." And we didn't have CLZ. This was in the Dark Ages.
It can't be as bad as like when Marvel was doing, like, dude, I always go back to like Edge of Spider-Verse 2, which I have the first print, I got the second print, the third print, and it's funny because all they did was, you guys remember the stupid bar that they had at the bottom, right? There was that like little label, and all they would do is change the color. It would just change the color of that label. It went from the regular white, and then it would go to like a purple, and then it will go to an orange. But ironically, the third print is a full design, but then they went back on the 4th print, back to the label change. I'm like, what is going on?
I'm fine with the 90s DC setup where they would just put a Roman numeral in the top effing left right under the price. It would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. But anyways, yes, change color of title is lazy, but it is classic.
It's fine. I'm still buying this. Come on, they're getting what they want, so it's fine. I'm just saying, come on, give me something. Give me something.
Absolute Batman 12, guys. Second print, the color change variant. But yes, very cool. For the sake of read alone, guys, it's worth it if you miss.
Gotta read it.
Yeah, exactly. But moving on. We've also got some ratios. That's right. Some incentive selections that we're going to run through. 2 of them right here. Not 1. You're getting 2. You've got the Black Cat issue 4 by Inhale Khalid. This is the Streetverse Virgin variant. As you know, we've gotten several of these already with multiple characters, whether it was Venom, whether it was Miles Morales, Peter himself. It goes on and on and on. And here we also have Daredevil Punisher to the right with Devil's Trigger #1. You got Elektra Mamacita. 2 awesome covers by Inhale Khalid. I dig these.
I like them too. I don't typically. I'm not like the Black Cat cover buyer ever, really. But this one might be a grab. I like this.
No, you're not. You're not doing that. You're not doing that.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, I'm not picking them up. I might have a couple, but I didn't get them intentionally. They just came in a lot. But that Elektra though,
I dig.
I'm probably grabbing that one, guaranteed. If it's sitting there, I'm probably getting that one along with that cover A.
Kilted Corgi. You're killing me.
Always.
2 amazing incentives. Like I said, if you guys are collecting the Streetverse variants that are out there already and you want to continue to collect and complete the set, well, you've got 2 of them hitting FOC this week. Moving on, though, Marvel Knights Punisher #1, the 1 in 25 incentive. This is the David Marquez 1 in 25 Virgin cover, which, yes, it was available as the first print. You want to talk Lazy Boys? You already know how I feel, but still a really cool cover.
Yeah, great cover. I like this one a lot. I still think I like the cover A was the Panosian cover, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that one was my favorite. It's not usually the cover A's that are my favorite. I usually find a variant that I like, but that one was kind of my favorite on this. And I have not read it yet. I need to.
You have to. I'm with
Yep.
Chia at 100% on this one. You have to read it. Brutal, like
Yeah.
brutal. Punisher is wow.
Yep. I bought it. I just haven't read it. It's sitting right here in the stack next to Transformers.
Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, it's also now on a second printing. So if you guys missed out and you didn't pick up a copy, you have a chance to do so now. But moving on, oh my God. Supergirl issue 7, the cover B, this one being the Sozo Micah cover. And we all know that everybody's gung ho right now when it comes to Sozo. I love this cover. It's, dude, Supergirl, Sozo Micah, the combination that, I mean, nobody knew they wanted, but we got it, and here we are. We're enjoying this. I really think, call me crazy, this could even be a book that hits the top 10.
Is this the cover everybody's talking about? This is the one, the Supergirl cover?
Have people been talking about it?
I believe they have. It's not good. It's great. It's great. It's so good.
My kid does that to me. Oh my God!
Super.
Don't do that. I'll ask him like, "So, did you enjoy supper?" He's like, "I didn't like it. I loved it." I'm like, "Oh
yeah,
my God."
That's right. Kid's got a fantastic sense of humor. It sounds like. Yeah. No, this is fantastic. It's so good. I got to get this. She's very sassy though. She looks very sassy in this picture. But yeah, this is a winner. This is up there for cover of the week for me. I like this.
Yep. Yeah, the chat was really getting ready to blow up. I was like, yeah.
Y'all know me better than that. I ain't about to trash a super book, period.
Yeah,
Ever.
Very fair, very fair. Yes, barging through the door. Just be careful because my boxes might fall over.
That's right.
But yeah,
Death
so
by
the Micah,
comics.
dude, wonderful cover. I love this. Like I said, I totally see this probably ending up on the top 10. I think a lot of people are gonna go nuts for this one. But not only this one, guys. Yes, Supergirl issue 7, the Sozo Micah cover is on FOC, but another Sozo Micah that I totally see hitting the top 10 list is gonna be Witchblade issue 16. Because look at this cover. It's a 1 in 25 incentive, and I really think this might pop, dude. I for sure it's gonna go for more than ratio price.
Yeah, I think so. And if that one hits the top 10, I think that's going to be quite a feat to see the 1 in 25 kind of bump up there into those big time sales numbers, right? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it up there at all. I feel like, you said the Supergirl is probably going to be there. I feel like that one might be pretty close to a lock. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I have no clue. We don't know until the day of, but I feel like that one's going to be pretty close to a lock whenever it does drop. But
Yep.
this one I feel like might have a chance too, even at a 1 in 25.
Yep. I think we're gonna have to switch this henchman. Because now we've got a brunette in a red dress, and I kind of want to see a bit more of those now that I saw this one. Yeah. Yes, very nice cover. Like I said, I'm almost certain this is going to end up on a top 10.
Yeah.
Just looking at this cover, Sozo Micah's on fire. Witchblade. I mean, are people reading Witchblade? That is a whole other ball game, a whole other story. But the covers have been great. But this Sozo Micah cover, I really think is going to crack a top 10. And we shall see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a runner-up. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, I think this is going to be absolute fire once it drops. So we'll see. Witchblade issue 16, the 1 in 25 incentive. Moving on. Yes, it is that time. It is that time, guys. Mark Spears Monsters issue 8, the cover A, so to speak. I guess we could call it that. But in reality, it's the blind bag that contains one of over 75 Mark Spears variants. We're saying 75 now, but I don't know, because like with the Wolf one that we just got, when did it drop? It dropped last week, right? Yeah, because my timeline was full. Honestly, I feel like it's been going on forever already. But yes, with that drop, I remember originally they were saying it was going to be something like this. I think it was somewhere around 75 covers or whatever, and then it ends up being 90 once you start counting incentives, etc., and all that stuff. crazy. Mark Spears is putting in such crazy work. I think this year alone, it goes without saying, he's probably done the most covers for 2025. I
When
don't
does he
even.
sleep? When does he ever sleep? He's just constantly in the lab making covers.
I know that he has a lot that he's had in time, like via cards and stuff like that he had, and some of those have been reused, etc. But there's a lot of these that are not the case, man, and some of these covers are wicked good. I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to check out Mark Spears' Instagram, or you pretty much saw some of that.
Yeah, he did say, and it's funny you mentioned his Instagram because I'm getting this directly from it, but he's going to add more of the 1 of 1 frozen relics, which is more than the 13 that he put in of the 1 of 1s in the trick or treat bags. And we're going to get some tinsel and terror covers, some silver screams, and a bunch more. So exciting. I don't know if anybody jumped in on it. Look, I love Mark. I will always support Mark. I think he's one of the fantastic personalities in our industry. I think he's great. I think his story is awesome. Everything that Mark does, I am on board with. So I did pick up a handful of the trick or treat bags. I guess that's what I'm calling them. I don't know what those are called, but I've been calling the trick or treat bags all week. Yeah, the Wolfman issues. I picked up several of those this week. And had some fun, doing some of the live openings. So I was actually on Love for Comics as a whatnot stream. It was a lot of fun. So shout out to Love for Comics. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. There's some really cool ones here, and I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna partake in here too, because who doesn't love a good blind bag every now and then?
Yeah, dude, I love some of these. I mean, the first one's a thirst trap or something, because Santa's looking jacked and shirtless and whatever's going on there. But I love the one right next to it where he's like, dude, he pulls off the face completely. There's so many good covers, of course, for this blind bag. Again, look, so much good stuff.
That third, oh yeah, that one's bitching. I love that one. And the I did see the Dracula and Frankenstein headlock, and it's also fantastic as well. So super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no. So the blind bags are there, but there's also the 1 in 100, or I think it's a 1 in 1,000. I'm not too sure. For this incentive, because when I was checking League of Comic Geeks, it was being listed as a 1 in 1,000. So not too sure, but still, regardless, there's this ratio. Whether it's a 1 in 1,000, not a 1 in 100 exactly. So sorry about that little typo there, guys. But yeah, 1 in 1,000. I like this. This is cool.
I love it.
It's a metal, dude. If I'm not
metal variant. Yep. It's super cool. This is definitely one you put up somewhere. This is one of the ones I like a little more than most. I think of Spears' covers. There's something about the Headless Horseman. It's so cool. It's never not cool. So yeah, I dig this a lot.
Yeah, me too. I dig. But yeah, Mark Spears Monsters issue 8. Guys, get the FOC in. Because even Mark Spears just finished posting on social media how it's now or never for this one. Like, if you don't pre-order it, good luck chasing afterwards. And you all saw what happened with the chases. The people that were opening these things early, people were going nuts. People were paying premiums for absolutely no reason. This is your chance to get these at just normal prices. Some shops even offering some amazing deals out there as well. Travis, are you pre-ordering any of these?
I'm gonna try. I'm really bad. When I say try, I mean it's all laziness. I'm just really bad at keeping up with FOC most of the time. Even being as locked in with everybody that keeps up with FOC for me. So it just shows how really bad at this I am. But yeah, I am definitely going to try to get a few. I don't like having to scramble. I was very fortunate this time to have a lot of people that were selling them for not outrageous prices, so that was great. But yeah, I'm probably going to try and get out in front of it for sure.
Yeah, pre-ordering is the way to go when it comes to such things as this. And like I said, some shops are even doing deals. But speaking of blind bags, oh yeah, baby, Ultimate Endgame. Here we are. We've talked about this for the longest time, but here it is. This is our opportunity to get this on pre-order because Ultimate Endgame #1, the blind bag. True Believers blind bag that may contain sketch variant covers by various artists. Now that is something that I am a huge fan of. You know, I liked seeing that Mark Spears on his blind bag did some awesome things that were different as opposed to, what we've seen in the past. Like DCKO was a lot of just like foil covers or whatever of covers that already exist. You know what I mean? But
Right.
here we're getting different covers, but original sketch covers. I don't know if you saw over on Marvel, I think it was Marvel Comics's Instagram page. They were showing all the sketches, man. Boom, you got a head sketch of, the Maker, you got Spidey, you've got like Wolverine, you've got one after the other that they were just dropping them. And I'm like, man, this I can totally rock with. That is a chase that I'm all for. Mark Spears again doing great stuff as well. The golden ticket. I think somebody in the chat said there's about 8 left or 7, somewhere around there. And I love that. Those are cool. You know what I mean? Like I like these types of chases. So for me, as much as I thought I was gonna go light on this one, now knowing those sketches are gonna be there, oh, I'm all in, dude.
Yeah, me too. I probably, before I heard about the sketches, I was probably like 1 to 3 of these max, right? Like I was gonna say maybe like definitely 1, maybe 3. But if I can get more, I'll probably just grab a few more. The chance of getting a 1 of 1 sketch is pretty cool. I don't think anybody would argue with that. So imagine the feeling of pulling one of those,
Yeah. No, exactly, dude. I would be super pumped to pull one of those. I mean, it's exactly why I'm gonna go heavy on some of these on the ultimate endgame blind bag for myself. But speaking of that, there's also a 1 in 1,000 incentive that is done by Zdarsky himself. I love this cover so much, man. I would only hope to get such a book. It is so damn good, dude.
Yeah, so is this going to be part of the blind bag, or is this going
It
to
better be.
be?
It better
Yeah,
be.
yeah. Man, I would lose my gourd if I got a hold of this. This is insanely good. This is one of the better Spider-Man covers I've seen in a while. I absolutely love it.
Yep. Question: how long will these blind bag gimmicks last? I think they're here to stay, Dan. I'm gonna be honest with you, whether you want to hear that or not. And I'm not speaking on the favor side of this. What I'm saying is that it seems that it's a big hit. You'll see why once we get to the hot topics, because I'm gonna dive into that and some of the aftermath from the Mark Spears one as well. But it's a hit. It is a hit. We're watching books such as Batman One hit 300,000 plus on pre-orders. You're watching Mark Spears surpass 350,000 pre-orders on these blind bags. From what I understood, I think it was DC that was saying something along the lines of like all their issue ones. That's how they're gonna treat them now moving forward, like with blind bags and stuff like that. So that's gonna be brutal. That's gonna be heavy, dude.
It's gonna be brutal if they're gonna stick to their plan of making all their blind bags $9.99 a book.
Yeah.
That's gonna hurt. I like. I am fine if you want to do blind bags for every series. I'm fine with that. I don't. I just don't. I feel like you should just have a cover A available as it is for the normal going rate that you would have that book for if there was no blind bag. That's my only problem. Like I love blind bags. I'm a trading card kid. You know what I mean? Like I grew up cracking Pokemon cards and Magic cards and having Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever else I could find to play. So I love that rush of a blind bag, but I sort of don't love the idea of making it, if that's the only option, right? Like, so if you're doing an issue 1 and that's the only option, I don't love that.
Look, we're seeing it happen on multiple scales. Like I said, it's gonna be a big portion of the hot topics tonight. So like we'll dive into that. But what I will say is yes. Here, Cliff is saying they took a fun thing and now ruining it, and I understand that perspective. I'm gonna go a bit hard on the blind bag stuff because there's things that are happening as well that it sucks when it comes to the blind bags. And I'm not talking about just the pre-opening of things. So that is a whole other ball game. But we'll dive into that later on in the hot topics. But what I will say, and I encourage everybody, I'm not going for a shameless cheap plug right here, but yes, find yourself a shop that is offering such discounts. You're getting 30% off of a bundle of 5, as you could see right here. And look, the regular price would come out to like $43 Canadian, which absolutely sucks for 5 books. But here you're getting it at $30 Canadian. So for me, that is something I'm comfortable with. But not only is that a great price, guys, I'm going to put emphasis on this because I'm going to dive on this again in the hot topics portion of the show. Because if you're going to pre-order from a shop, one, if you can get a great price, awesome. This is awesome. But find yourself also an honest shop when it comes to blind bags. And that is all I'm going to say up until we get to the point of the hot topics, because yeah, there's a lot of fucking shitty things happening when it comes to the blind bag stuff. So there you have it, Comic Legion. Shout out to you guys for the amazing price. And yeah, definitely going to be pre-ordering some of those right after the show. But for this week, guys, that was the entire list by Lefteros and Covrprice for the FOC selections this week. If you want to know more, obviously go check out the website covrprice.com, where you can read all of Lefteros's reasonings behind his madness. That's right, his lists that he just throws at us with great information, and then you're like, damn, he makes perfect sense. Now I need to buy this. So that's how he makes me feel. ComicNation.us is obviously Comic Nation located in the United States. So if you guys want to pre-order any of these books, go visit ComicNation.us. They give you 15% off every week. Get an additional 5 by using discount code BLACKCROWN. And if you're in Canada, I just showed you, ComicLegion.ca. They, as you saw, have amazing prices. They give you 20% off of every single book every week. But if it's your first order, use discount code ENLIST. And if it's your first time hanging out here, man, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Yes, you see myself here with this awesome fella Travis tonight, but you could catch us over on Covrprice's YouTube channel as well, bringing you the top 10 and, of course, new comic book day every Monday and Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. I think Steve had to go to do caca or something, so he's not here right now. He'll be joining us immediately after the market report. So that being said, Travis, you ready, sir?
Yeah, let's get it, bro.
All right, let's go, bro. All right, market report, baby. That's right. We're looking at books that sold on the aftermarket within the last week. Now, are any of these books in a specific order? Absolutely not. There's nothing in order. If anything, this entire show is completely the definition of disorder.
Off the rails, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Market report, we're looking at multiple lists. House of Stein, CBSI, Key Collector, Covrprice. Checking sales over at Go Collect, eBay, and everyone else. Dude, if you have an Instagram, like I'm looking at those sales, man. I love seeing people post some crazy sales that take place within the week. And I love seeing the feedback that people also, drop in the comment section and all that fun stuff. But if there's anything I love the most is getting pinged in my DMs every 3 minutes by Michael Baker, because Michael Baker is hitting me with sales nonstop on my social media, on Instagram. He is letting me know of the books that are selling within the week. So Michael Baker has his own spot here called the Baker Shakers. That's right. So that being said, it's time to shake, baby. Let's see what's going on the aftermarket. First book we're going to talk about, Ultimate Wolverine #1. Yes, you knew New York Comic Con books were going to be here this week. Not too many, though. I only dumbed it down to 1 just for you guys, because this Whatnot trading pack version of Ultimate Wolverine is a foil by Kevin Eastman himself, and is limited to 25 copies. A raw copy, guys, just sold at $510. Cover price, daily shaker, highest sale recorded to date. Holy cow, dude. $510 for a raw.
Limited to 25. I love it. I would like it better not in a foil, but who do I care? I didn't get it, so it doesn't matter. But what a bitchin' cover by Eastman. I mean, I never knew I needed an Eastman Wolverine cover, but now I feel like I need one because I really like this. Kevin Eastman. So for me, Kevin Eastman's always one of those that like I'm just crazy about. Like I love the style, I love the way everything looks. It always just works for me. And like this is one that I would absolutely love to just take and get signed and then slabbed and then just put it on the wall forever because I really dig this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Somebody Guilty Corky. What is this 6'7"? But my kids started saying this, and it's driving me nuts. He's like 6'7". I'm like, what is this? Like, suck it. You know what I mean? I just want
right. That's right. Dude,
no
you are not prepared. You are not prepared to be treated like I treated people in middle school.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of here with your 6'7". But yeah, dude, this Eastman cover is so good. I had no idea that this was in the Whatnot trading pack, and kind of wish I picked one up, man. Because look, limited to 25, selling for 510. Would I pay 510? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't be doing it.
The packs themselves were pretty like. I don't want to say high because it's all relative, right? Like, but like for me at the time in the moment when these things were going, I was like, it's a little out of the budget for me right now. So, you know, they were up there. The Whatnot trading packs usually pop off for some fairly big numbers before they're opened. So yeah, it was a choice to miss out on this one because I saw a lot of them out there. But I still would have had to hit one of 25, which is that's a crazy number. Yeah. But hey, you know, crazy things have happened, I guess. I love the cover though. There's nothing bad I have to say about this cover. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that you guys are finding it funny that I hit him with the suck it. You know what I mean? Dude, DX was my favorite thing ever.
Right.
In wrestling,
entire childhood right there.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, it's the main reason why I hit you guys always with the "Are you ready?" Right? It was
ready.
Yeah. Bow, bow. But anyways, Ultimate Wolverine #1, guys. A raw copy of this Eastman foil that was limited to 25, sold for $510. Degeneration Trav scares the shit out of me. I hope that never becomes a thing. But anyways, moving on from this, we've got Superman Unlimited #1. I wanted to revisit this one because, yes, Travis, I know how much you love Superman and how much you love the movie. Now we're looking at the Fandango photo cover that was limited to 1,000 copies. It is part of the collector's bundle. CGC 98 selling at $205 Baker Shaker this week. This is here simply because even after the fact, you know, the movie's come and gone, but this is still holding relatively well in the aftermarket. $209. You know, I think the highest sale was just a bit more than this. It was probably somewhere around, like, we'll call it 240, right? We'll just say 240. So it's not too far off. I think it's doing okay.
Yeah, it is. And Superman the movie, as of I think last week I was on there, is still ranking in the top 10 on HBO Max. As far as views, or as far as number of watches. So that's cool. I don't know if it's still up there on HBO Max as far as like top 10 or not, but it was up there as of last week. So some real staying power for the movie, and shouldn't be all that surprising to see the staying power for the books as well. I got to be honest, if I'm feeling saucy, you know, if I'm feeling saucy, 205, I'm okay with this at 205. But that's because I really loved the movie and I really loved, you know, everything about the movie. I loved it and everything that went with it. So the Milkbone covers, you know, I ended up with several boxes of dog treats.
Yeah.
And several boxes of dog treats, and
it's a great snack. Good for you,
it's
bro.
wonderful. Great fiber. Yeah, I you know, at a 9.8 for 205, you know, you catch me on the right day, I don't know, I'd probably buy this.
Yeah, but yeah, those Milkbone ones, who knows what the print run is, because they would sell out and then restock, etc. That crashed very fast as anticipated, guys. We all saw that coming, but this one's holding relatively well. Superman Unlimited #1 in a CGC 98 selling at $205. Travis, it's funny you bring up the fact that it was on HBO Max because my son son, dude. So here, look. I never told my wife. I never told her the actual truth behind the movie. So I took my kid, who obviously was 5 when the film dropped, to watch this. And there's some things that happen in this film that he should not have watched the movie for.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
being the Green Lantern scene where it's a bunch of middle fingers, right?
Yeah, sure.
So my wife knows how much he loved the movie, and it's on HBO Max, right? It's on HBO Max now. So he's browsing through the TV, and dude, I swear to God, here, look, I'll shut the screen down. He's there. He's like, Dad, look. And I look at the TV, and he's like, Superman, like, can we put it now? My wife's there. She's like, oh my God, didn't you love it? Yeah, let's put it. I look at him, I'm like, and I'm showing him the finger, and I'm like, no, what am I doing?
Why are you flipping our son off? What are you doing? He just
She
wants to
didn't
watch his favorite movie.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's fun times, man. I enjoyed this film. And you know what? See, as you can see, there's memories with the kid. So Superman Unlimited 1, CGC 9.8, $205. All right. Dude, this one breaks my heart. Kiss number 1. This takes us to 2012. It's a web store exclusive. It's a Nick Runge variant. Raw copy just sold for $150. Cover price daily shaker. Highest sale recorded to date. Although, look, rest in peace, Ace Frehley. I posted on my Instagram how much Ace Frehley meant to me. I even shared a brief story how when I first auditioned for the band that I ended up being part of, like from the age of 16 till 25 with Steve, who's here, who's going to join us in just a sec. The first song that they told me to learn when I had to go and audition was Deuce. And I went in there. Apparently I did one ridiculous scream that one of the guitarists looked at me and he's like, yeah, so we're gonna keep him, and that's what really made it for me. Otherwise, I don't even think I belonged at that age. But besides the point, I'm looking at this and this cover, dude. Ace Frehley was just he was such a huge part of the sound when it comes to Kiss, and I think a lot of people overlook him because everybody's looking at like Gene Simmons, right? Or well, I'm gonna say Paul Stanley for sure, but it was Gene and Paul. Really, that's what everybody was like.
Yeah.
Focused
Sorry,
on.
I instantly thought of the Family Guy joke with the Peter Criss.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this cover, and that's not Ace Frehley, dude. That's Tommy Thayer.
Oh my God!
Right? So I don't know if somebody bought this thinking they bought something of Ace Frehley, but that's Tommy, bro.
That's insane. That's insane. We lost a lot of music people this week, like a lot of notable music people this week, and very, very sad. I know I can't remember the guy's name, the bass player from Limp Bizkit, I believe, was it?
Sam Rivers.
Sam Rivers. I could not place the name at all. And then
obviously that took me by surprise, bro. 48 years old. That's wow.
Yeah. And then also last week lost D'Angelo, neo soul basically founder, one of the most pivotal people in the neo soul movement in the 90s and early 2000s. And I remember like listening to Brown Sugar like probably like all through childhood, like from like age 7 to like age 12. I had no business listening to Brown Sugar at that age, but whatever. It was a great album. But yeah, we lost a lot of like really like notable musicians in the last week, so it's been a wild week as far as that's concerned. And
Bro,
yeah,
the Limp Bizkit, you're saying you shouldn't have been listening to stuff when you were a kid, but like now talking Limp Bizkit took me back to a story. I was listening to the chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water, right? Like, dude, you if you remember that first track, Hot Dog,
yep,
right? All he does is curse. He says the F word every third to fourth word. Right?
The whole time. I could like, I haven't listened to Limp Bizkit in probably like 12 years. I could still probably go word for word on the first like minute and a half of that song.
That's what I'm saying. And dude, I would have my aunt come over and like babysit me, and she is like hardcore like Christian. Like she goes to like everything Christian, church,
very straight laced,
yeah. Yeah, dude, I would blast the shit out of that song when she would come over nonstop, just because I knew right? I knew that I was breaking many boundaries for her, and she would lose her shit, dude. Like I was dodging slippers nonstop.
First thing I thought of, I shit you not, the first thing I thought of was like me and my best buddy from back in the day chilling in his room at like 1 a.m. eating fucking Pop-Tarts, playing Legend of Dragoon on the PlayStation, and listening to Limp Bizkit. Like that was literally childhood, bro.
But back to the Kiss stuff, man. Again, it was a very impressive sale to see this. This was a web store exclusive, and I don't know if somebody bought this thinking that oh my God, Ace Frehley passed away, so they're trying to scoop up an Ace Frehley book. That is a harder to find book, but if that's the case, I think they have made a mistake because that's Tommy Thayer, and I don't think that be the case because this is also a harder book to find because it was a web store exclusive.
Yeah, probably. And it could just be the general pop, the general boom that you're going to get when something like this happens.
Yeah.
It could just be somebody just wanted a Kiss book, but it's a big number for a Raw book, but hey, Kiss is popular. They will always be popular. I love Kiss. I don't know many people that don't like Kiss. Like Kiss is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not surprising. So it could be due to that, but yeah, if you're right, if it's just solely to get an Ace Frehley book,
yikes. Yeah, exactly. But anyways, that being said, Kiss won the web store exclusive by Nick Runge in a Raw, just sold for $150. Now, speaking web store exclusives, man, Scotty Young, dude, stupid fresh mess. I love Scotty Young Scotty Young stuff.
Scotty Young.
Scotty Young. Universal Monsters Frankenstein #1 had a Scotty Young web store exclusive that was limited to 1,500 copies, and a CGC 98 just sold for $120. Baker Shaker this week. I love the way he did this Frankenstein cover. I know he also did one for the Universal Monsters Mummy #1, but I just think the Frankenstein one is a nicer cover. That's just my opinion, and I really like this. For 120, I'm in.
Yeah, I wish I would have got it like when he announced it, because I remember this announcement coming, and I remember thinking like, oh, that would be really cool to have. And I'm pretty sure I was on the website when they were there. It's like, no, I'm not buying books right now. Everybody goes through that period like where you're like, I'm not buying any books for a couple weeks. That was one of those periods, and now I'm like, oh fuck me, seriously.
Yeah, this is dude, it's wicked, man. I really like this cover. I don't know how much it was going for on the website, but Scotty's books are relatively cheap, man. The web store exclusives, like they're always within the like 20 to 40 range, depending on the book and cover, etc. But I really dig this cover, man. And like I said, I know he did the Mummy one. I think this one's just way better.
Yeah, I think this one's great. Yeah, and it is funny. I've thought that same thing. Like when Scotty drops exclusives on the web store, I'm always like, oh great, a web store exclusive. How much is this gonna be? And then you get on there like, oh, all right, I'll take two. All right, I'll take two.
Hey, Ozzy, good job, dude. He says he got this one when it dropped, and he got it signed off of the website. So that's a good dude. Even signed copies of his books are cheap, man. You could go on the website and really pick up anything signed by Scotty Young for very cheap. And so always keep an eye out for those drops. Again, I think 120 is very fair for this right now, even though, yeah, it's slightly above what you would have paid had you bought it off of the website raw and then gotten it graded. But still, I think it's cool. Universal Monsters Frankenstein #1 CGC 98 120 bones. All right. It's Halloween season, and this book pops up. It always pops up. Terrifier #1. This one from 2021. This is a Steve McGuinness cover. Sold 9.8 copy. On the CGC census, just sold. And a CGC 98 sold for 1,800. That's how much it sold for. Cover price daily shaker, highest sale recorded to date. It's crazy because there's not many copies of this over on CGC as a whole. And I mean universal across all grades. But the 9.8, there's only one copy.
That would explain the number, and the IP would explain the number as well. Terrifier has a super devoted following. I'm just gonna let people in here. Travi doesn't love horror movies. Horror movies scare Travi quite a bit, to the point that I don't watch many of them. They have to be like there has to be like a whole vibe to them. You know what I mean? Like I watch a lot of them. I like very few of them. Terrifier is one that I just haven't. I'm not. No, I'm good, bro.
You Baker,
Um,
Baker, I don't blame you, man. He's saying
yeah.
of all things to do with a naked woman tied up like there, cutting her up is
Yeah,
not on top of his
usually
list.
not on the list at all. Not even registering on the list. Yeah, so I do enjoy all of the memes. The Terrifier memes were a great period on the internet for a while, so those are good. But yeah, I just devoted fan base, only 9.8. This is a great combo for any devoted horror fan, Terrifier fan, whatever. I could absolutely see why this would go for such a big number.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And back to Baker, I agree, man. Well, obviously, if you see a girl looking like that, tied up the way she is, you would go wash the dishes or something. Like you don't want to piss her off, right? That's the last thing you want to do to any woman that you hope to get it in with. So that being said, Terrifier number one, the 2021 is Steve McGinnis, and it is a sole 9.8 copy on the CGC census. 9.8 sold for $1,800. That's wicked coin. Wicked coin. All right. Dan Mora, you guys know, you already know how much I love Dan Mora, but Nightwing 105, we're going back to 2023. This is the 1 in 50 ratio cover by Dan Mora, and it is a foil raw copy of this selling still at $180. That is a very strong price for a ratio that came out 2 years ago.
I wish I had it. I definitely won't have it now if it stays at this price.
Yeah.
But damn, Dan Mora. No, this is so good. This is so good. And hey, man, Dick Grayson covers just popping off left and right, man. It's never gonna stop. He is the poster boy now for flexing covers now. So.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. From pumpkin spice to whatever it is that he had a pumpkin spinning on his finger and his butt or whatever. But here we are now, Nightwing 105. We're still going back all the way to 2023, 2 years ago, and this 1 in 50 ratio foil is still doing very well. I would want to see this in a foil. I'm curious to see how the foil, presents itself on this one because I do like the all blue background right there.
I think so. That's what I was gonna say. I think if you went, and I don't know what this looks like. I don't have it. I wish I had it because I have Nightwing is a huge part of my collection. But I think if you had like the back blue as the foil and then, like a spot foil, right? But you had just the background as the foil and just Nightwing like in regular print color, I think it would look so sick.
I can't wait to see what's going to be happening with the Absolute Universe once we start to get to Dick Grayson. Once we start to get, we got news from Snyder himself that Barbara Gordon is going to be making her way as well. Like in the next arc, we're going to see probably, Robin. Is it going to be Dick Grayson? Who we getting? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
So I'm totally keeping an eye out for that because Nightwing is definitely cooking. He's on fire, dude. People are loving Nightwing, and yeah, man, once in the Absolute Universe,
someone made a meme and said, here we got our first look at Robin in the Absolute Universe, and it was just Nemesis from Resident Evil with Robin's head on it. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. That's fair.
Yeah, the Absolute Universe is something else, man. It's something else. But yeah, I dig this. Nightwing 105 in a raw for the 1 in 50 at $180. That's right, man. Pumpkin spinning on his butt. Hashtag that. DC expanding the Absolute Universe and Marvel killing the Ultimate Universe. Jeremy, we're going to dive into that. I promise you. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to that. Futurama Comics. That's right. Issue number 8. We're going to 2003 from Otter Press. We get a giant size X-Men 1 homage cover. There's 39 of these in a 9.8 on the CGC census, and a 9.8 just sold for $209. I hate to say it, but at $209, although it's a cover price daily shaker, highest sale recorded to date, I dig this. I actually dig this.
I did too. I've been actually going back and rewatching Futurama right now, so this one's especially. I didn't buy this, I promise, but this is especially kind of kind of apropos at the moment. I did also watch part of the Treehouse of Horrors earlier, so that was fun. But yeah, these bongo books are kind of popping off right now. And yeah, I like it. I think this is a cool book. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the price here, even if it is a daily shaker. I love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 209 isn't too shabby for this one. Dude, there's just like every time I watch Futurama, like Bender's obviously my favorite. Like Bender is just my guy. You know what I mean? But then you go and like the most random character is just gonna steal the show, right? Like you can like Zoidberg, bro. Zoidberg.
You never know what's gonna happen. I mean, it's just you just never know what's gonna happen on Futurama, which is what.
Yeah, there you go, Zoidberg, Steve. Exactly, man. As I said it, like, dude. I find them so funny, and like I said, at random, someone's gonna steal the show. But I love Futurama, man, and I love Giant Size X-Men. So I mean, this might be the closest I'll get to that. I dig it. Futurama Comics issue 8, CGC 98209 for this one. Earthworm Jim number 3 is a comic book, also video game. Obviously, we're gonna talk a video game book at least once on this list.
Gotta have it.
We go back to 1996. This is actually the final issue. And if you guys didn't know, Dan Slott actually worked on this one for the 3 issues. Now, there's 27 9/8 on the census for this one when it comes to CGC. And a 9/8 just sold for $235. I dig this, dude. I dig this. One of my, I remember playing this on Super Nintendo.
It's hard as shit.
Yeah, so I still go back to play it, man. And when he takes the worm head and just whips, it's so much fun. So much fun.
It is fun.
It to swing.
I was so bad at it, man. It was hard as hell. I remember the game being really hard, but a lot of fun. And maybe I'm just bad at video games, probably. But yeah, no, it's this is cool. I love seeing Earthworm Jim. Never totally out of the conversation. Certainly not with folks from that generation. Everybody remembers Earthworm Jim, so I'm not surprised to see this book pop up, especially with only 27 9.8s for sure.
Yep, I dig. But yeah, just wanted to bring this one up. I dig. I like this so much. I actually saw this at Terrificon, man. Somebody had this on the wall for, I think it was they wanted $100 American for it, but it was not a 9/8 contender. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that one. But still, it was the only time that I ever saw this in the wild. I ever saw this at all. So when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, take my money. But then I saw, oh, here we go. We got some color breaking ticks.
Yeah, some dings. Yeah.
Yep. So it was a no-go for me, but congrats to whoever picked this up, because Earthworm Jim number 3, being the final issue, CGC 9/8 just sold for $235. Now, here's another one, a fun one. I know that you said you're more of a Trekkie than you are a Star Wars fan, but Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, this is a magazine that came out back in 1980 by Paradise Press. There's 15 9/6s on the CGC census, and there's 8 9/8s on the census. There's 63 total across all grades, and a 9/6 for this one just sold for $495 US. I know that the what was the poster guy?
Drew Struzan.
Yeah, there you go. He just passed away. But he didn't do this cover, just so you guys know.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to ask. It didn't look like it, but yeah, I was curious about that. But yeah, Drew sadly passed away as well, and did some amazing posters for Star Wars. Did some amazing work with some Star Trek stuff. Muppets movie posters, just amazing body of work. So yeah, definitely a loss to the art community for sure.
Yeah, but I like this, man. I like seeing these things. This is really cool.
It's great. I don't know that I'm in at 500, certainly not for a 9.6. And I love Star Wars. Like this is the kind of thing that I would buy. Like most of my Star Wars collection is based on covers. I usually read the series like trade. I used to just do trade reads on those. Yeah. And then I buy covers, right? But so this is definitely something that I would be like in on, but at this price, that's high, but well deserved. Obviously very scarce. And yeah, this is a good get for whoever was able to get a hold of it for sure.
Yeah, I dig. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, the magazine from 1980 by Paradise Press in a CGC 96, just sold for $495. Very close to that $500 mark for this one. Baker Shaker this week. Up next, though, we want to revisit some books from, the past that had some big highs, man. And of course, one that comes to mind immediately is Invincible Iron Man issue 9. We go back to 2016, this one being the Turcotte variant. First full appearance of Riri Williams. Now, the peak of this book in 2021. Yes, the ever so wild pandemic numbers. It hit $5,975 on this one. And now, today, we are looking at a CGC 9.8 selling at $263. Baker Shaker this week. Holy cow, what a nosedive of a drop, dude.
Yeah, that's alarming, but you know what? I never did get that number 9. Maybe this was probably the time to go ahead and pick that up.
Yeah.
I did get the number 7, but yeah, no, I always liked this variant too better than the cover A of number 9. Yeah, because I thought the cover A of number 9, the cover A of number 7 is great. I like that one a lot, but this one, the cover A of number 9 wasn't always like my favorite thing in the world. So I always liked this one, but could never afford it. Obviously, I mean, look at that peak number. No, this one's back on the radar, I think.
Bro,
Yeah.
even at $1,000, and if I would have known I bought it at $1,000 and it's now $263, I'd be kicking myself in the ass every single day. I would hate that. But $5,900, dude, you're at $6,000.
Because I think the only way you feel okay with a drop like that if it's like your favorite character.
Not
like,
even
really. Like I mean, like I
Bro.
feel like if I bought something and it's like flat out my favorite character, I'm like, okay, that hurt a little bit, but whatever. I was never gonna sell it anyway.
Money laundering, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But yes, Hyper, I know exactly what you're referring to. I too would be happy if I was that guy who claimed it at $5 at our local comic shop. Which, yeah, everybody now knows that story because even the owner himself sold this book for $5 on a claim sale and reminds everybody that he honors his prices after a book has sold. I'm sure somebody got fired.
Brutal.
I'm sure somebody got fired, but regardless, talk about a big dive, man. Invincible Iron Man 9, the Turcotte variant. Obviously, first full appearance of Riri Williams. At its peak, had a $5,900 price tag, and that was back in 2021. And today, CGC 98, $263. I love this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the answer.
That's it. Do we care about the prices? Do we care about anything else? No, we don't. We just care about this view, baby.
Answer the question. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like if I
nothing to see here.
If I fell face first, I wouldn't put my hands up to stop my fall. But Cry of Dawn, issue 5. We go back to 1991. This one is a second print and a very hard to find second print for that matter. This is a Joseph Michael Linsner cover. There's 4 9/8 of this one on the CGC census, and a CGC 9/8 just sold for $1,900 US. Baker Shaker this week. I also want to shout out my brother, Mr. Longshort. If you guys are not following him on Instagram, please do so. He actually just posted this sale as well today over on his Instagram. I saw this, and dude, let me tell you, it is a cover. I believe Bird City, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta ask Laura. I feel like they did do an homage to this cover. Now, again, this is the second printing for this one. It is super scarce, super hard to come across. The first printing, if you're wondering what that looks like, well, here now we get a different perspective. Yes, these covers are insanely hot. It is what it is. But the one with the full moon, dude, like, yeah.
Is this one that was a JD that was talking about it when it shows up at your house? She's like, I have no idea how this got here. Somebody must have sent this to me as a gift. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. We'll just put it away. No, not throw it away. Put it away. Yeah. No.
I have a few books like that in my collection. To be honest with you, I always wonder, like, fuck, if I die first and then my kids go through it, they're gonna be like, "What a horn dog! Like, why does he have a stable? Why does he have a stable Playboy magazine?"
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is a winner. Big number, but super scarce, so not crazy surprising. And yeah, Sex does apparently sell at $1,900 for a 9.8.
Yeah. No, dude, it's crazy. And like I said, it's super hard to come across. You will almost never see this in the wild. And seeing the sale that took place is very impressive. When your wife, girlfriend asks what you want for Christmas, yeah, you show her that, and then she'll be like, "Well, why that?" No, like I want you like that. Is what you're supposed to respond, right? But Cry for Dawn, issue number 5, the second print. As I said, there's only 4 9/8s on the census of this one, and a 9/8 just recently sold for $1,900. Very impressive sale for this one. Very impressive cover. It's got me excited for all the wrong reasons, and that is the market report for tonight. But hang tight, guys. We're about to get into the hot topics, but before we do, I want to check in with my brother Steve. So, as you have it, guys, this is Steve. Stevie boy, what's up?
What's up?
Not much, man. Not much. I know we normally do this after the FOC portion of the show, but here we are doing it after the market. It's been a week off last week, so now it's been 2 weeks since we saw your face.
Yeah.
How you been, dude? How you been?
Good, man. How about you?
Very good, of course. Now I know you've been busy doing your thing. I've been busy as well. I was telling Travis earlier, I'm like, bro, I'm in the process of trying to like prep the show, close my pool, give my kids a bath. I was cooking before, it was just all over the place. So my weekends have gone to shit, especially since the kids started hockey. But that is a whole other story. You, on the other hand, have been busy. But you've been catching up. You've been reading. But I overheard something. I heard that you came to an LCS right next to my house.
Sure did.
So my first question is, why the hell did you swing by to say hi? That pissed me off. I'm gonna be honest. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't know you were home.
No, I wasn't. I was at work. But you went to an LCS, man. And you what was your experience, dude? You walked into the shop for the first time, right?
I did. It was the first time I went to that one. I was actually looking for the Mark Spears blind bags, and unfortunately, he didn't have any left.
So what was that, a FOMO thing? Like, did you want to pick up the blind bag because you saw everybody talking about it, or?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, if you have the opportunity to get that golden ticket, why not try, right?
Right. Oh, okay. There you sounding like a gambling man. I like it. But yeah, dude, the blind bags are definitely fun. So I can understand why you wanted to pick one of those up. You said unfortunately they didn't have, right?
No, he told me he didn't have enough to fulfill his orders. So.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, they didn't send him any.
Okay.
But I did get the DCKO blind bags. I got 2 of those. So at least that was a little bit of fun for me.
That's awesome. So you ripped open the blind bags already?
I did.
What did you get? Show me, bro. I want to know.
Let's see.
Okay, beautiful. I love this cover. I told you, I love this so much. With the sun on his knuckles, etc. This is obviously a foil because it's from the blind bag,
foil,
right?
Yes. But both of them are, yeah. And then I got this one.
Oh,
Nice.
Hangman Page and Lobo. That's dope.
I also got the original because I wanted to read one, so I got the actual book itself.
Yeah, this is the die cut, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I got this one, but this I bought just because.
Good. This is the second print.
Yes. No.
I think that's first print. Yeah.
No, this is first print. He told me.
Okay.
That's
awesome. So, have you read DCKO?
I did. I read it just before the show started.
Okay.
And?
I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
You're not spoiling anything. Don't worry.
So mad.
I'm crazy.
I know it's crazy, but it's fun. It's actually a cool story. I like where it's going, and
I'm more than happy to spoil things because you saw throughout the issue there was a lot of things happening, and then at the end, those final words that were exchanged, that second last page, you had the shadow of the absolute characters, the absolute trinity. Basically, you had Superman, you had Wonder Woman, and you had Batman.
Yeah, it was a fun read. Honestly, I'm excited for the next issue. I'm not fiending for it like I am the absolute stuff, but it's gonna be something to look forward to.
Have you? So did you get a chance? I'm sorry. Did you get a chance to read Batman 1 yet?
Which one? The one that I picked up?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Okay. So, interested to hear what you think about that. I personally love it. It's so much fun. Having Matt Fraction on that book, and dude, who can argue with Jimenez? So the art, you'll find yourself kind of getting lost in the art a little bit. I think it's so much fun. But yeah, it's definitely one I'm excited you picked it up, because it's definitely worth the read.
I'm excited to read it. That's for sure.
Now, Steve, if I go back into the chat, I'm seeing some things that you're saying here. I've noticed you've been praising DWJ.
Oh yeah.
Who's DWJ, bro?
Mr. Warren Johnson. I
Yeah,
love
and here you are.
Yeah.
Now a fan. See, this
Oh, yeah.
already, guys, in a short period of time. I just want to backtrack. We've been doing this now for about a month and a week, we'll say, right? Somewhere around there. And you have now completed multiple books, titles. You're up to date. Department of Truth, I was saying earlier. Many Absolute Universe. You're on board with Absolute Batman. Now you've read DCKO. You've read. Weren't you reading something else that Cliff referred to you as well?
I read Murder Falcon.
Murder Falcon, yes.
This week, I finished The Moon is Following Us.
Good.
I read Extremity. The next one I'm reading is gonna be Space Mullet. I'm reading.
Do a power bomb.
Do a Power Bomb is done.
So again,
He's crushing it, man. I wish I kept up with my books like this.
So
He's crushing it.
Yeah, you've got a lot of Daniel Warren Johnson on
It's
that.
mostly his stuff.
Yeah,
I'm running through his collection.
Not a bad idea.
So is it safe to say that so far in your 1 month experience, give or take, that Daniel Warren Johnson has your full attention?
He does. Absolutely. Yeah. And I do want to talk about The Moon is Following Us and Extremity, because they're great books.
Go for it.
I'm gonna say The Moon is Following Us, okay? Now I've got to know how Warren Johnson does this, how he does his storytelling and whatever.
The hook.
I was waiting for the gut punch, but I saw the gut punch coming, so
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed.
Okay.
In The Moon is Following Us, but the story is cool. And I'm probably gonna ask you a stupid question now.
Absolutely.
Is this a thing when they start a book? It starts randomly in the middle of something, and then eventually you're always getting like backstories within different issues.
So you mean a thing when it comes to Daniel Warren Johnson, or is this a thing in general?
In general, that's where I'm asking.
No, lots of stories. I mean, there's a good bulk of them that are like that, but stories vary, man. They can take off one way where you get a full origin story, backstory to characters before you start to get the ball really rolling. Yeah. Some of them are slow burns. A lot of them are just throwing you into the action. Like there's so many different beginnings to series that like we could go on forever for. So maybe it's just something you're noticing across some of the titles you've read, but to say that that's the standard within comics, no, not at all.
Okay. Dude, that's what I wanted to know.
I can give you some titles that are balls to the wall out the gate, where things are all happening, like the world looks like it's about to end, and then they take you back into origin. Or you could even just read like, dude, read Amazing Fantasy and get into Peter Parker's stuff. Like that's a slow burn as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I also read Exquisite Corpses. I'm up to date with that.
Nice.
Crazy.
You've been praising that book for a while now, so I'm like, you know what? Let me give it a read, and it's absolutely amazing.
It's nuts.
I'm so happy I started that, because I'm really, really enjoying it. It's giving me a bit of like Hunger Games meets something else. It's really cool. I like it.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I'm happy that you're enjoying it. I'm happy you're actually paying attention to what we're saying. You didn't even listen to me this much when we were in a band, bro. I love it. But
and I started Shredder. I read both issues.
Oh, nice.
You read both issues?
Yeah.
So how crazy? Look, you grew up watching TMNT, right? You said that one of the first things you picked up at an LCS was a TMNT book, and the reason being is because it was a big part of your upbringing, your childhood. Yeah. And now you read Shredder. This is clearly a way different take on Shredder than what you're mostly accustomed to. You saw how badass he is, right? You see the way he even puts together his suit at the end of the first issue. It's bomb, dude.
I'm gonna tell you what I like the most of the Shredder book is that there's no shred or little bit of hint towards the Turtles. It's
Yeah.
really focused on him, and I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would hate if they would come in because it's not about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want, because if they do come in, I feel like they might overshadow what's going on.
Right.
I'm happy with the direction it's going so far.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I know you read even The Last Ronin, which you really fell in love with as well. There's also more Re-Evolution after that, etc. So maybe check those out too if you really fell in love with it. When it comes to suggesting reads, I can give you a ton. I would love to know though what your take is going to be, because you've been reading a lot of current runs. What's happening now? Now that you've gotten familiar with the things happening now, learning some of the stuff from the Silver Age, you know, start going back into the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. I'm curious to see where you fall there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, which characters? And then, like, I'm sure some of these you're going to read and be like, what in the hell am I
The
reading?
cheese.
Yeah, because it is cheesy. It's not today's type of stuff, right? So we're going to go a total different ball game. Jeremy, I'm with you, man. For me, Exquisite Corpses is one of easily book of the year. It's such a good read. But I would love to see you start diving into some history, right? Like if we can go, like 70s is one thing, 80s is another, of course. But like once you start getting into the 90s, things get wonky. You know what I mean? Like it's just everything started happening in the 90s in different ways. We have a lot of gimmicks as well that take place in the 90s, etc. So yeah, I would love to see you go back on certain things. Are there any characters right now, you know, when you think of the big two, meaning Marvel and DC, are there any characters that really stand out to you that you would like to actually learn some of the history? Whether it doesn't have to be just characters, it could be teams, it could be like, I don't know, whether it be the X-Men, whether it be the X-Force, whether it be the Thunderbolts, whatever it may be, Fantastic Four. What is there anything that you have in mind that you want to dive into?
As much as I loved Winter Soldier, so I feel like I need to get into the Captain America stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a good place for me to start. That's on at least the Marvel side, and on DC, you know, I'm going to Batman. There's no two ways about it.
So I think there's when it comes to Captain America, there's some things that, and I'm surprised that's actually somebody you're picking, which is great to hear because I know how much you loved Winter Soldier, but I think Captain America would be great to see the origin and the relation that he had with Bucky, and then what happens after that, and then when he comes in as Winter Soldier, dude. First appearance in Captain America, I think it's what, issue 6 or something like that. You would want to try to. I think that's what you're saying. You want to go the Winter Soldier route, right? You want to follow that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of history that you're going to pass on Captain America to get to that point.
And that's what I'm assuming, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a long way. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of things to read, you know.
Yeah, no.
I can chime in on some Bat books though. If you want to talk about Bat
great.
books.
I'll definitely great.
So these are just personal favorites, and some of them are a little old, some of them are a little new, but like one of the most underrated, you don't hear it talked about enough. I'm telling you right now, it is one of the best Bat reads out there, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a diehard Bernie Wrightson fan. But Batman the Cult, it's a 4-issue series. It's the Cult, and it's Jim Starlin and Bernie Wrightson on Batman, and it is dynamite, and it is never talked about as much as it should be talked about. And then as far as like more modern runs, I mean, the 2011 Scott Snyder Court of Owls, like that's the one. And Bison brought up something really interesting too. Junkyard Joe, it made me think of Ghost Machine, and with Ghost Machine still fairly new, not a lot out there. Well, I mean, there's a lot out there. Don't get me wrong, but like the issue numbers are still fairly low, so it's something that you can get into. The real thing about Ghost Machine, and the reason I wanted to bring it up, is Jeff Johns, the writer of Ghost Machine, or one of the main creators of Ghost Machine, along with the rest of the people over there. Yeah. His work at DC is what made me fall in love with comics. As like a teenager. Like when I was a kid, I just like, oh, comic books, look, superheroes, cool. But when I was like starting to buy comics, the thing that made me fall in love with comics was Jeff Johns' work at DC. Anything that had his name on it at DC, I was completely all in on. So anything there, his Green Lantern run is legendary. And even if you haven't done a lot of Green Lantern reading, it's like it's a lot. It's heavy. There's a lot. It's very long. It ran for many years, but it is landmark. I mean, it's insanely good. But yeah, as far as like Bat stories, yeah, Court of Owls and The Cult are the two that I'd always recommend. A little older, a little newer, but very different. But they you really do see you get to see the Bat get humbled a little bit both times. So
That's good. I like that too. I don't like it that the heroes are always like on top.
yeah, and
Where they're like
we're used to
they get a little taste.
we're so used to that character always having like the plan, and I feel like in both of those arcs, bro had no plan. Like it makes for really good reading. So yeah, and JD just said Blackest Night was a hella run. It culminates there, like that Jeff Johns Green Lantern run. When you get to Blackest Night, everything feels so heavy. Like everything that happens just feels massive. And it's been building for years and years up to that point.
Yeah. There's a lot of great stuff from that side that Travis was talking about when it comes to the DC stuff. I do highly recommend literally everything he said. I love seeing that the chat is actually bringing up some other ones because yes, Nightfall is classic. The Breaking of the Bat. I'm sure you would want to see that as well within comics, but when we look at some other things that the chat is mentioning, like I'm seeing now that you mentioned Ghost Machine, you've got like Geiger coming up, Junkyard Joe, etc. Dude, the Ghost Machine universe is insanely amazing. And now you have Ghost Machine, right? And then you have all these titles, man, whether it be Redcoat, whether it be Geiger. Geiger is one I would suggest reading before anything else because Geiger did actually come out way before anything. The Ghost Machine universe even exploded. Now, I know you. I think you would enjoy falling into this. Rook Exodus, all of these things. These titles are really good. The Transformer stuff, the Void Rival stuff. These are the heavy favorites right now when it comes to the universes of right now. For me, it's got to be the Void Rival stuff, the Ghost Machine stuff. Obviously, the Absolute and the Ultimate Universe from Marvel and DC are doing great things as well. But I could go on forever with suggestions, bro. Like we can go back to literally the 40s when it comes to comics. But we'll take it slow. We went through some of these.
No. JD said Steve isn't twitching yet. We got to keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rook is self-contained.
Yeah, Rook is self-contained, and it's definitely worth it. It's fantastic. But yeah, it's there's no shortage of great things, and like whatever you're into, there's always a recommendation. Like if you're and you'll find I know you're already finding your kind of niche. Like you're finding the things that you're into. You're finding your favorites, your favorite writers and stuff. And for me, even to this day, I'm still finding like somebody says, "Oh, have you ever read this?" And I've never read a single thing by that writer, and I'm like, "Holy cow, I have been sleeping on this." And then I'm doing exactly what you're doing, DWJ. I'm going back and I'm grabbing everything I can and trying to play catch up because I'm like, I've been living under a rock and not reading this person's work, and so it's very, very, very cool to see kind of that same kind of progression happening because I feel like a lot of us have that when we get into comics.
Yeah. And I think, Steve, without even realizing it, you love Daniel Warren Johnson, but you just told me you love Exquisite Corpses. You love Department of Truth. You love Tynion, and you don't know it yet. That's what I'm hearing.
Just wait till you get into SIKTC.
Yeah, dude, Something is Killing the Children is something that I think you would enjoy as well.
Yeah, the next one I have on my list, that's the next one I'm reading is Beneath the Trees.
Yeah.
That's the next one.
Henchman, this is such a great suggestion. So, considering that Steve is now caught up on all the MCU titles, right? He's watched everything MCU almost.
I took a break. I stopped at Endgame.
Okay, so you're at Endgame, so you haven't watched anything post Endgame yet, but the MCU is headed towards Secret Wars. Doomsday and Secret Wars is coming up, so it wouldn't be a bad idea because the Hickman run from 2015, I can totally see that being a big play and a lot of pull from that comic playing out into the movie. So, if you could read that prior, I think you would really enjoy that. Ice Cream Man, yeah. Ice Cream Man. There's so many great things we could look at. Now, before I let you go, there's a few things I just want to run through. You just, like I said, came to an LCS right next to my house, and what ended up happening is when you bought that DCKO, they told you when you buy this issue, right, you have to fill out a poster. Basically, the entire bracket of the DCKO is placed in the LCS. Anybody who buys a copy can select one of the characters that are remaining and who they think they're going to win. Now, when you went, you said there was like 4 characters left, right?
4 characters left.
And surprisingly, the character that you chose is one that I think, you know what, is not a bad choice. So I walked into the shop and I saw you were right there. It says Steven, and you chose Zatanna, right?
Sure did.
I'm curious to see how this plays out. Now, I know her first matchup is up against Big Barda, which Barda is not an easy one. So I don't know. But I think Zatanna could advance. Absolutely.
Always bet on Magic.
Bragging rights only anyway, so I have nothing to lose.
Yeah, no, exactly. But it's so fun to catch up with you. Now, speaking catching up with you, we're kind of circled in now on what seems to be a date this weekend, right? This upcoming weekend, we're going to finally hit up an LCS together, and we're going to see what Steve pulls in the dollar bins. Let's see what interests him, what piques his interest, and why he's going to choose the books he does. And then we're going to have the conversation. We'll do the conversation probably live here to see why you picked up these books. And I'll film the entire journey. Maybe we'll make it into a separate video over on the channel. But I really want to sit down and see why you choose the books you do, whether it be for we'll set a benchmark like $20. Here's $20. Let's see where it goes.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, Steve, always a pleasure, sir. Always a pleasure. You're so awesome for rocking with us. You know that, right? Like you literally have been backstage from the beginning of the show, just watching, shooting the shit.
Forever we'll be here waiting.
Can't wait. Can't wait. You got updates coming from the chat. The Jays win, so I'm happy you guys are keeping us in the loop. Zatanna will win is what you want. You need gifts is saying for you, Steve. So it looks like you're advancing to the next round. Keep it going, Steve. There you go. The encouragement is there, bro.
I appreciate everybody in the chat for all the suggestions. It's wonderful.
Hell yeah, man.
Great community.
Awesome. All right, dude. We'll let you go because we have some hot topics to get into. But guys, this is Steve, man. That's what's up.
Steve.
We love you, Steve. Such a fun thing, dude. I love doing this. I love seeing, the perspective. It's so fun.
I love making recommendations to people that don't roll their eyes at me when I make recommendations. Like, oh,
yeah. That's like literally 99% of my relationship with my wife. Like anytime I say something, I'm kidding. No. My wife puts up with a lot of shit from me.
No, so she's a saint. She's a saint. I have said this multiple times that you're unbelievably lucky to have someone so patient with you, because it takes a special person, let me just tell you.
That it does. I see Steve giggling backstage because he knows that is absolute facts. Let's get into the hot topic, sir. Last segment of the night. You ready?
Oh yeah. Let's do this.
Oh, okay, let's go.
Oh wait, time. I really don't have anything. I just like doing. Oh wait.
You ain't gonna tell me to wait. No, we are getting into the hot topics, baby. Let's go. All right, like I said, guys, we're gonna talk about the blind bag stuff. We're gonna talk about a lot of things from the news that dropped this week. One thing I just briefly want to touch on that has absolutely nothing to do with comic books, but I saw some things happening throughout the week that kind of had me puzzled. You guys know I don't like drama. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't give two shits about it. I have no interest at all. This is my disconnect. This is where I come to talk about comics. But man, I'm seeing people like Brian McClay and all that stuff. I don't know why Brian McClay even had to get to that point where he had to, kind of make an episode last night about Razor and all that stuff. Some talking about Brian's dog and these attacks and stuff like that. Guys, come on, man. Come on. Shout out to Brian. Handled that like an absolute pro. I just want to put that out there. I have nothing but love for Brian McClay. and I just thought that the attacks were absolute madness. I thought we were here for comics, you know what I mean? And I don't even consider that comic book content. So I'm happy that Brian McClay addressed it the way he did, because that was absolutely wild. I don't know if you caught that, Travis.
No, it's the first I'm hearing of it, but I don't love what I'm hearing. But I'm not surprised that Brian handled that like a champ. Personally, haven't had a chance to speak with Brian, but I do catch his content. He does great work, and not surprised to hear that he handled that with professionalism and grace. Like, not even remotely a surprise at all.
I'll be the first one to say it. If somebody came at me in that manner, if it's in person, it's a different reaction. That's all I'm going to say. Over the internet, I'm going to disregard you. But if I'm ever in front of you or we're on the same stream at the same time, let me tell you, I'm going to bury you verbally in ways that you were going to wish you were never even born. Don't ever do such things, dude. I honestly was so taken back. I'm like, dude, this is absolutely pathetic. Watching a grown-ass man do that to somebody else who is also a grown man. I didn't understand it. I was so puzzled, dude. It was wild.
Right.
Wild. Yeah. I'm really refraining from going further into details, because if I would go into it, I'm gonna get heated, and I don't want to get heated, because you guys know I'm not here for that. But dude, whether it's a dog, whether it's a relative or anything, you don't say shit like that. Don't say shit like that. Fuck off. Focus on your shit. Do your channel. Do your shows. Whatever it is you're doing. I've never even heard of this guy up until last night's build up to that show. And I don't know, man. These types of channels, content, whatever, man. I don't even know why you include yourself in this comic book community. That's the way I see it. You know what I mean? You're not talking comics. You're causing nonsense, bro. Anyways.
Hey, if you like, come on, like, you know, we're gonna have this. I'm gonna say this, but you know, quoting a Disney movie at this point. But really, if you can't say anything nice, just don't say anything. It's not that hard.
Like, keep trucking, bro.
That's why I don't talk to you most of the week.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, that's why we avoid it. But yeah, like I said, I can go on forever, but I won't, man. Like I said, I'm feeling my blood boiling already, and it's idiotic. But shout out to Brian. I do want to give him kudos, because he didn't get to highlight anything comic related. The entire episode was dedicated to that, and he handled it like a pro. That's all I'm gonna say. Leave it at that. And I agree with you guys. It's a bad look. But anyways, yes, exactly. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, couldn't care less. But anyways, moving on. Let's get into the actual talks for comic stuff related. Oh, bro, I think Jared Leto took the kill a little too seriously here. Because yes, Tron Ares box office just tanked so bad. It actually opened below Morbius's $39 million debut. And holy cow, that is horrible. I feel bad because, dude, all I've been seeing is Tron advertisements everywhere. No matter where it's at, whether it be YouTube, whether it be on Marvel comic books. Obviously, Disney's pushing that. You remember all these Tron Ares variants that we've been getting, etc. Holy cow, this is terrible. I didn't think anything could suck more than Morbius, but it seems that Tron is doing exactly that. Have I watched the movie? I cannot speak for that. But until I watch it, I won't judge it. But it seems that the critics and the reviews have been absolutely tanking, bombing, and the box office being another thing that is definitely not doing well at the moment.
Does Jared Leto have a type? This sucks. I haven't seen it. I've said this in general sucks. I like the Tron kind of universe. And hey, you know, like, it's cool. Like, we you know, they do have the ride I Think You Want You Need just posted that that there's a ride down there. So they're really trying to build up the Tron thing again. But you know, without having seen it, I couldn't tell you. I know that Morbius was not good. Just that's all I'm gonna say. Just not. I don't know how to say it any nicer. But yeah, I don't know. Like, man, Jared Leto's had a tough run here lately. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's probably not even a Jared Leto thing. Maybe it's a script thing. Maybe it's a, maybe it's a production thing. I don't know. I'm not an expert here.
Bad. I feel bad because Jared Leto's not a bad actor. Like, we can go back to earlier days, right? So we go back to, like, I don't know, Fight Club and stuff like that. Like,
Dallas Buyers Club. Maybe he just needs a movie with club at the end of it.
I guess, but he's
have we cracked the Jared Leto code?
Yeah. So look, you got David Lepage, somebody in the chat who actually watched the film, because I'm not going to trash the film. I didn't watch it, but he says that he watched it last weekend, didn't mind it. The music was great. It looked cool. Leto plays a robot, so I wasn't expecting much, and I am not a fan of his. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I think his acting skills are pretty good. I just want OG 30 Seconds to Mars. That's all I want. I want that stuff back musically on that side of Jared Leto. That's all I care about. But I don't know, man. It seems like, it's just not working for Leto right now. That's what it really sounds like.
Yeah, I admittedly, and I've been on the record for saying, I've been on the record here. I've been on the record on Covrprice saying that I think that any movie, comic, anything that you're putting out there that you've worked hard on, that you release, whether it's, generally accepted as good or bad, I don't really care as much. I respect it, right? Like, it's awesome that you're doing that. It's very hard to do these things. It's very hard to get these things off the ground and get them out there. So I have a hard time, like, just shitting on anything, right? Like, anything, even if it's bad, I have a hard time with it. Yeah. But, man, it's kind of been a little bit of a brutal run for Jared Leto, and there's been a lot of memes, and I have to say I've chuckled at them because they're funny. You can't help it. They're funny. It's just like, I saw one that said it's 1984, something just happened and the Tron movie tanked at the box office, and it said it's 2007, it's something just happened and Tron just tanked at the box office. And so I don't know, like, it's a fun thing. I like Tron. I think it's cool. And the soundtrack is really neat. I did have listened to the soundtrack, and it's been a lot of fun. But
dude, 9 Inch Nails, absolutely. Right. Let's go, baby. But what I found, like, you want to talk memes, bro? I saw somebody share a meme saying that they left 2 tickets to the movie in their passenger seat. Somebody broke the window and dropped 3 more tickets to that movie. But yeah.
I mean, like, I love the memes. I'm here for the memes. I hate that it's not working out for the production team and everybody that worked hard on the movie. But them's the breaks sometimes with these things. But it's fine. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I probably will not go see. I get very few theater visits. Like, it's hard to find the time to get there, and I know you know that. Yeah. But probably won't catch it in theaters. Probably will catch it on a rewatch when it hits streaming. But yeah, just been a tough day, a tough couple years at work for the old Leto, man.
I know. I feel bad, dude. He's got acting chops, and he's definitely got vocal chops. Like, I'm like I said, I really love 30 Seconds to Mars. I love thinking of Jared Leto only as 30 Seconds to Mars on the acting side. Earlier career, fantastic. I don't know what happened immediately after Suicide Squad. But anyways, that being said, clearly something's off. 39 million was where it was at, and I saw that. I was like, geez, that's rough. But anyway, moving on to some comic stuff, guys. I just want to put this out there for you guys. We have DC titles that are dropping in 2026, and it's looking like it's going to be beginning as of March 2026. Some very interesting titles here by Snyder over on his Instagram. You have Batwoman, you've got Deathstroke, you got Firestorm, you've got Zatanna, you got Lobo, you got Demon, you got Barbara Gordon, Breakout, and at the bottom left corner, as you could see, you got Batman, Shadow of the Bat. Now, I'm pretty excited about this, not simply because of the titles, man, but when you look at the creators, the writers, and everybody behind this, dude, you've got some big names here with Ruka. You got Jeff Lemire, you got Tony Fleece, who's going to be on here. Scotty Young's joining the crew on this side. This is going to be wild, dude. Dennis Camp, like, holy cow, man. This is good stuff for DC, man. DC next level. Let's go.
Yeah, I like this. Can we go back to the previous slide here? I'm being bossy. There we go. Really? I know. But no, seriously, I'm actually quite excited for some of these some of these series that are starting out. I liked Shadow of the Bat years ago when it was coming out. And I love that. I hope that this is the word marking, like, you know, the titling that they're going to use on the books, because I love the throwback to the old Shadow of the Bat logo. It's really neat. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I love that we're getting another Demon series, and I'm always down for another Zatanna series. So be interesting to see who's working on what. I know that some of that's been announced. I couldn't keep up with it. So I don't remember who's working on what specifically, but it's always good to see Lemire back and working on. I know he's working on some active titles now, but it's, you know, it's great to see him continue to work with DC and to see some of these other people.
I don't know if you saw the picture that Scotty Young posted, but he posted himself wearing the biker jacket of Lobo that says "Bite Me, Fanboy." He redid the cover, of course, with you know, a jacket that he was wearing, the vest, and he says that he's going to be launching a new Lobo ongoing series in the upcoming spring with DC Comics. So that's big news, dude.
That's a good fit. Like, just on the surface, I think that's a good fit. Scotty Young and Lobo, I feel like that's a nice marriage right there.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude. So some great things coming out of DC. This is great news, but you know, unfortunately, there's some negative news, sad news, I guess to say, coming out of Marvel. So we'll get into that in just a minute. But speaking DC, I don't know if you heard about this, guys. You've heard me talk about this book on the show in the past. This is actually the Superman Bradman comic. Now, if you're wondering what that is, this was the one that was for the Bradman Bar Mitzvah. This was a comic that was done solely for that, and it was super scarce, selling for crazy amounts. 47 copies of the insanely rare Superman comic, The Island Bradman, have been found and listed at auction in England. And what's interesting is that the comics, once lost and forgotten, now range in quality from ungraded to CGC 9.6 condition for all 47 of these copies. So this just saw way more hits the aftermarket, so to speak. I don't know if it's on the aftermarket yet, but I do know that these have been found and these are getting graded. It's crazy to think. Like, I wonder who was, you know, holding on to these. It must have been somebody related.
So,
or something.
I have heard, and I don't remember who from, but I had heard there being rumblings of there being a small wealth of these sitting stored away somewhere. And I find it hilarious now that one of these that these are now starting to pop up, because I had heard that probably like a year or more ago, when I first when we were talking about this. I don't know if it was on this show or it was on another show, but somebody, I'd been talking to someone, and they said something about there being a small little collection of these probably sitting somewhere. Whoever that was, you were absolutely right. They were just they were just speculating. They were like, but I feel like there's probably like just a box of these hanging out somewhere that nobody knows about. And boom, here it is. We found the box.
Yeah. And yeah, man, shout out to JD, to Mr. Longshort, who I spoke about earlier. He actually found a copy in London. That's right. He posted it on his Instagram. And it's so wild to see that, how, you know, this entire box of 47 copies just gets found, and here we are, man. It's wicked. I'm curious to see how this is going to impact now once we start seeing sales hit. Ozzy saying that one actually sold on the Elite Instagram show just last week, so that's pretty cool. Ozzy, do you remember what it sold for? If you do, let us know in the chat. But yeah, gonna move on from this one because we were talking blind bags earlier, man. I want to bring this up because TMNT issue 13, where we're gonna have a changeover on the creative side, it seems. It received more than 100,000 pre-orders for the blind bag. Now, the pre-order deadline was originally set for October 20th, but they moved it up a week and brought it to October 13th. That is because order projections were higher than expected, and the printer will now receive extra time. That 1 week is going to help them significantly to produce more copies to meet the increased demand in the key comic and blind bags. So, you know, this kind of circles back to the conversation we were touching on during the FOC portion of the show. Blind bags. Dan Delatorre is saying, you know, do we think it's going to have longevity? Is blind bags a phase? if it is a phase, man, it's working. Right now, it seems that even look on a issue 13 where we're getting a creative change. It's got 100,000 copies. This is big orders for such a title, right? Especially for such an issue.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, just we're talking. It's not like it's a number one or anything like that. We're just, we're getting, like you said, we're getting a creative team change, or 13 issues in, and I think it's the power of the blind bag and the power of a good IP. I think it's just it's creating a boom.
So. Yeah. So that's where we're at, man. I just wanted to highlight that for you guys. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of nice covers for this one.
For sure.
I'm really hoping to hit the Raza, which is just wicked. But Chia is saying that he loves this. They're doing great things either way with these blind bags. So, like I said, I have no problems. Look, we all get suckered in. I mean, I'm pre-ordering, you're pre-ordering, you're grabbing some. Steve was looking for some, and Steve is new to the hobby. It's appealing to people. They like that rush. They like that, that chance of probably hitting something. So yeah, people are going crazy for blank bags. It also helps to sell comics without having to project how each cover variant will do. It's kind of foolproof. It's a foolproof way of selling comics, and yeah, it kind of is. Covrprice blind bags will always be worth the risk, cheap enough that the average person buys 3 to 5 of them, and that's exactly it, man. It's a small buy-in for the gamble. That's really what it is. To be honest, despite DC doing great production, their blind bags left a bit to be desired. Not enough chase books, and that is another thing. And I brought that up in the past. I feel like if you throw in a good chase, kind of like what Marvel's doing with the Ultimate Endgame stuff, you're getting these sketches and stuff. I'm in. I want to try to get one, man. Those sketches looked amazing. If you guys didn't see it, go check it out on the social media pages, like Instagram, etc. Pretty nice sketches that are.
I think we'll see more. I think we'll see more companies settle in with some of the chase books and stuff like that. I think that's going to be probably something we'll see happen further on.
Yeah, but I will talk about some chases and maybe some adjustments that need to be made, because there's more blind bag stuff that I want to talk about. But before we do, the Batman 423 original art has finally sold. It sold at $781,250 on October 17, just 2 days ago. That did not break the $1 million mark, but like I told Ozzy on his post, if you convert that to Canadian, we're well over $1 million. So there, we'll say that in Canadian, it broke the $1 million mark. In US currency, we came relatively close. 781,000 is record breaking. This is huge for this original art right here. It is such madness. We all anticipated a huge sale to take place, and here we are. That's exactly what happened, man. Dude, that could have bought my house twice. You know what I mean?
I've never seen this cover before. What's
right?
the big deal? No, it's crazy. I didn't think the I did see that it was going up, that it was going up for auction, and I thought, I have no idea where in the world I am going to, I have no idea where in the world this is going to end up. For me, original, there you go. For me, original art is hard to, gauge, especially like notable original art like this. Put it on the credit card, bro. I would have to combine credit cards I don't have at this moment to get to that number. But yeah, no, this is I always have a hard time thinking. Oh, Steve. The Todd father.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane, Steve.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't know where it would end up. Part of me was like, it might hit $1 million, but I thought to myself, like, is that overvaluing this? Maybe, but I don't think so. That was my initial thought. It'd be anywhere from like the 900 to $1 million, just because of the book. But Dan has a point, and Dan has the best point.
Yep. Could have bought a lower grade of Action 1 and Detective Comics 27. Now, it's funny that he says that, because, when you take two books as such, right, first appearances of monstrous characters when it comes to the comic book world, original art looks like we're seeing way bigger coin being spent. It overshadows some of these, major first appearances, first appearances of Batman, Superman, whatever it is, the original art seems to be where all the money is. Now, it's funny because back when I was hanging with the comic kingpins on the channel, we created a segment called the Trade Center. And Trade Center, we would do like TSN Trade Center. We would take books and would you do this trade type thing. So in this case, Travis, I need to ask you, would you rather have the original art of one of the most iconic covers of all time, which is Batman 423? I think it's up there for sure. Todd McFarlane's one of his best covers ever. Would you rather have the original art, or would you take such coin and go and throw it into comic side of getting first appearances like Dan was saying, Detective Comics 27, or are we looking at Action Comics 1?
I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. Bitch, I had this book for like 8 hours and flipped it for more money. I would absolutely go buy the first appearances, and it's not even close. I like original art. Original art is awesome. It's so cool. For me, though, I am a comic book collector first, I guess you would say. Like, I love original art. I would absolutely buy it for a reasonable price. But this kind of money, and I'm not knocking it. It's one of one. It is one of one. You are not getting another one. This is it. This is the one. I understand, and I understand that there are some diehard McFarlane people out there that would pay this kind of money. Right, and that's what I mean. Baker just absolutely hit it. Like, Michael Baker, money not an option. Michael Baker is buying this every single day of the week. I'm buying Action 1, knowing that there is more than one copy of Action 1 out there. But Action 1 is the ultimate grail for me that I will never get because I'm a dumbass who decided to collect Action Comics versus another run that I could complete. So,
hey, dude, Amazing Spider-Man is still on my the complete list. My end game is AF-15. If I could trade every single comic I have for one copy of AF-15, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I like, and I understand the draw here. I really do. And like I said, but this book to me, like the actual book, I held it for 8 hours, and somebody wanted it, and they wanted it for way more than I bought it for. So I flipped it. I'm a Batman guy, and I was like, this is a great book. I'm flipping it. But
Kilted Corgi with the I'd rather have the art on my wall of my van. Oh man, yeah. I was just saying I'd be into this rather than a comic. Yes, one of one, and that is an amazing way of looking at it. Now, Ozzy also brings up another big thing when it comes to the sale. It belonged to somebody named Keith, who unfortunately passed away, and I have seen his collection as well on social media. And it is sad that he passed away very young, but the sale, all of the money obviously is going to go to his family. And yeah, man, it's a very successful auction.
Very cool.
It comes to a close at such a great price and a very high price. That being said, though, we were just going back and forth, you and I now with the chat on what you would prefer and stuff like that. But there's no wrong way. Deciding, guys, there's no wrong way. If you would prefer the comic side or you would prefer the original art, I do appreciate this as a one of one. This is the original art. I can't even believe Todd McFarlane let this go to begin with, right?
Yeah, that is a little surprising too, I think. But yeah, like I said, I do want to reemphasize that while I am very staunchly in the I'm buying the comic book side, I absolutely get it. I get why you would want this. I get why you would spend this money. It makes perfect sense to me. But for me, I'm like, I'm here. I'm getting that Action 1 because that's what I want. That's the book for me. That's the grail of grails for me. So
yeah. But all right, let's move on because we're at 2 hours 17 minutes, and it's funny because I told Travis before the show I removed a lot of stuff so that we don't go too long, and here we are. So moving on, guys, I'm sure you all saw this. This was very interesting to see, man. It kind of reminded me of Hickman with Krakoa and stuff like that. But Ultimate Universe architect Jonathan Hickman didn't expect Marvel Comics to close the line down. He goes, "Why are we shutting it down?" So for those who haven't been following, obviously 2023's Ultimate Invasion, the whole series, everything has been going bananas ever since. Now we fast forward 24 months later. they're launching Ultimate Endgame in December of 2025. But it turns out that even though Hickman had written a 2-year and done storyline, he didn't think Marvel would cancel the line after it was done. Buckley, however, felt it was important to do so. So it's kind of like we get the beginning, we get the middle, we get the end, and that is it. There's nothing more to this. Now, I know Chia Pet and I have been going back and forth. Chia believes that like this is still gonna spin off, and we're gonna get more Ultimate stuff. But I don't know, man. It seems like some of the stuff that's coming out that might not be the case. I hope it's not going to end, and we do see more. But I could also appreciate if it is gonna come to a complete close. I think we look back at these 2 years of comics and just look at the Ultimate Universe as, wow, man, this was amazing. They listened to us, the fans. They gave us stories that we've been wanting for the longest time, especially when it comes to somebody like Peter Parker. And Ultimate Endgame is coming out now on literally New Year's Eve, December 31st, and apparently the Ultimate line is going to close as of April 2026 with Ultimate Endgame issue 5.
I don't know what to say. I get it. I get Buckley's perspective here, right? Like I understand what's being said. These are the only Marvel books that I'm consistently buying. Like I'm not like, and it's not that I'm a hater. It's just for me, this was a great experience and a great just a great ride this whole time, and I've been consistently buying Ultimate Spider-Man, consistently buying the Ultimates. I was on all of the other titles for quite a while before slowly dropping some of them off because it's a lot of books, right?
Yeah.
But I consistently have read them. I've tried to keep up with them as much as I can. They have been really high quality, and instead of continuing to move in that direction and continue, I guess if you're worried about stagnation, whatever, but there is none. There hasn't been any. It's better than most of your current line, and it just is a very odd decision, and I have to wonder how. Wow, it's Lepage is on the same page right now. Yeah. I have to wonder, like, if Hickman didn't really know anything about this, like, wouldn't you like get that message out there to him? Like, that shouldn't be a surprise. Yeah. Like, for not to Jonathan Hickman. I don't know. Again, I'm not hating. I don't want to come off as the hater here or anything like that. I just don't understand the decision. That's it.
You don't come off as a hater. I think we all felt the same way reading such an article. How like Hickman kind of had no idea. That's kind of like weird. But look, they say this. If this is the move they're making, then I totally agree with Chia saying that this is ballsy as hell. You've never seen a company and its best book so voluntarily, right? That just, it wouldn't make sense. But it's interesting though that a lot of people felt that maybe this canalized your main books, and it is the main feedback I hear from people. A lot of people dipped out of the main stuff to go into the Ultimate stuff because it's what they were preferring for the sake of read. I feel like at this point, Marvel did listen to us, and like I said, they gave us stories for Peter Parker and other characters as well that were just way more intriguing. And now here we are. It's looking like it's going to come to a close after a short 2 years. That's really what it is. Insecurities of the main run, Kilt Corgi is saying, and
I understand. I also understand. I understand Chia's point. Like, I understand that these newer things are eating into some of the mainline books. I get that, but if you have good, like if you have a good thing going with some of your mainline books, and it might just be because they decided to coincide a new absolute marvel. That's fantastic. Corgi's on fire tonight. Neiman also said that they actually that the final straw was them discovering that I liked a Marvel run. Jesus. All right. But no. The only thing, and I don't want to drone here, but I think that the timing of redoing Batman. Like, you started Batman over at a #1, right? You did all that, and you've coincided it with the Absolute Universe, not to the T, but you're doing it, and that's created extra push for that Batman title. You got a good creative team, so you know there is a concern about some of these new books cannibalizing the main run, but I don't think you're really saying. I mean, Batman is still selling well, and it always sells well, but that book is still selling well and competing with the Absolute books every month too. So I don't know.
But like I said, for me, I look at it either way, I win, and as I mean that as a reader, because I feel like for 2 years I ate good. We have a story from front to back. Although I would love to see the Ultimate Universe continue, I also don't want to see it get so watered down. You know what I mean? Like, throughout time, it's just gonna lose its spark, and then like it's not even good anymore. We're just getting nonsense, kind of like where we're at almost in the main timeline for certain titles. I'm not saying that about everything. There's a lot of good stuff coming out on the main side, but I think, if it does come to end, we have, like I said, from front to end, a great story. We could look back at this as a great period of time. And it's again, for me, it was more interesting how Hickman didn't know, but it is what it is. Now, moving on from that, I want to bring up the topic since we're already talking about this. It's official. DC is beating Marvel at every turn right now. Now, this is from comicbook.com, where they dove into some of the reasons why they think this be the case. But on my side of reasoning here, I'm looking at what's happening now within comics. Now, and even in the theatrical side of things, right? Like, let's look at 2025. The highest grossing movie when it comes to superheroes was Superman, right? Now, this is an IP that is just it's Superman, dude. Obviously,
Sure.
I knew it was going to surpass Fantastic Four. Did I think it would do the numbers that I think both of them would do the numbers they did? No, I thought both would actually be higher, to be very honest with you. But looking at the world, the economy, and everything right now, I totally understand it. But on the film side, DC had the stronger movie at the box office. Now, on the comic side, the Absolute Universe is dominating, dude. It is absolutely
Every month.
Yeah, it's nonstop. And on the comic side, I think this is where I'm gonna touch into more of what I was kind of saying just now when we were talking about the Ultimate stuff and the Hickman stuff. I feel like Marvel doesn't always or almost never does listen to the fans. I know sometimes, most of the time, it's kind of good to do that because, like, you don't want to give them what they want. You and I are wrestling fans, so let's talk wrestling. If if the fans are hijacking the show all the time, right? It's gonna eliminate the suspense, the surprise moments, those big shocking moments, all that stuff. Are there things that when we go back to wrestling, we think should have never happened for that shock factor? Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to see Taker lose the streak to Brock Lesnar, but I think now when we talk comics, it's kind of the same thing. I feel like Marvel just like doesn't listen to us, the fans. I think both publishers, DC and Marvel, have put out amazing stuff. But it is a fact. The Ultimate Universe was a big driving force for Marvel for the last 2 years. You've heard me say it in the past how even the Amazing Spider-Man, who is Spidey's your flagship boy, has been rough. It's been hard to read, but man, Joe Kelly's killing it right now. Like, I'm really enjoying the run now. So I would say that some of the things is that when it comes to why I feel DC is kind of crushing it right now, I feel like DC is on a huge momentum, especially on the comic side. Like, look, I'm going to go back a few slides, man. We're talking about the announcements of what is up and coming. I kind of feel like Marvel's is lackluster now without the Ultimate Universe, if that be the case. DC's coming in guns blazing. We've got the Absolute Universe that is continuing to expand. Whereas, like, we know that in the next arcs, we're going to be getting Dick Grayson. We're going to be getting Barbara Gordon. We're still going to see a lot more characters when it comes to the Batman, universe. Whereas Ultimate Spider-Man, we're getting now the 24 issues and bang, that's it. We're done. And I loved how this happened in real time. We got 24 months worth. Sorry, we're going to get into the blind bags next. But I don't know. Those are my takes. I just feel like maybe DC is like, you know what? We hear you. We know you love this shit. We're gonna continue rolling with it.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, and I think that that's okay. I mean, I think it's fine that Marvel, if Marvel wants to end the Ultimate Universe, then they're more than welcome to do so. I just pulled up the top selling books for 2024, right? And that obviously this is not 2025. This is last year, so we're still fairly early in both universes. But I mean, so much of the top 50 books are absolute and ultimate, and I just feel like you're going to start seeing those ultimate books go away. You're going to continue to see those absolute books for now continue to hit big numbers. I mean, they're going to continue to hit big numbers, and they're going to occupy more space on those top sales. And look, I'm not saying that Marvel books are not going to sell or anything like that, but I do think that it's an interesting choice. I think that DC is obviously, it's like you said, they're very, very, very much on board with giving the people what they want right now, and there's a lot of folks that are happy about that, and that as well they should be, I think.
Yeah, Lefteros, man, I agree, bro. It is wrong to ignore customers, man. Especially like, diehard fans are showing you, and the proof is in the pudding, bro. Like, fuck, the money itself is showing up on the Ultimate side, right? It's showing you that when you let the writers do what they want to do with these characters and take these to a new level where they're hearing the fans, they know that we want Peter Parker and MJ together, right? The Ultimate Universe as a whole, the Ultimates, if you're reading the Ultimates, there's great twists to these characters that make it more intriguing, to be honest with you, than the main timeline. The main timeline has carried its weight, sure, but a lot of the stories, it almost feels like on the main side of things, everything is a filler issue. I don't feel the need to pick up every single issue like I did once upon a time. Now I'm looking at stuff and it's very much like pick and choose. Like, oh, okay, there's some crazy shit happening with Hulk. I like this. I want to buy into that. Of course, buy what you like, right? But are they hitting home runs the way DC is right now? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Even the main timeline for DC is doing good. Look at the creators, the artists they're bringing, at the forefront. Here, look, I'm going to go back again. You're looking at Jeff Lemire. You're looking at Tony Fleeks. Who would have thought that, right?
Greg Rucka.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is Scotty Young is now headed over to handle Lobo. So it's really interesting to see this. Dennis Camp, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild on the DC side where it seems like not that Marvel's lackluster. I mean, they still have an amazing lineup of people. But my point being is I just feel like DC's going all in. They're listening to the fans. They're seeing like, oh, okay, people are loving this guy. People are loving this writer. People are loving this. Let's go, man. Let's do this. Let's give you a title and let's kick ass.
You said DC's going all in, man. They're going to have to. Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They put it on every comic book because they know you're going to say it, Lando.
Damn it.
DC's going all in. They got you, bro.
Bastards.
Oh man, but yeah, no, I look, I find it odd that you would take something so popular and just say, you know what, we're gonna call it a creative decision and we're gonna go back. Like, people are invested in this Ultimate Universe. People are invested in this Absolute Universe. Let them be invested until the numbers die, and then once the numbers die, kill it before it gets too bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? It's the old adage in football. Don't you want to be rid of a player like a year early versus 2 years too late, right? Or 2 years early versus a year too late, right? Because the drop off of a really good player can detrimentally affect your team in a horrible way, and like, so yeah, so run them for a while, and once it starts to dip, then axe it. But you're axing it at the height of its popularity, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that's great in TV shows. But I don't know if it's the same for this medium here. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad analogy, but yeah, I don't know. It just feels too soon.
Yeah, no, for sure. there's Chia in the chat saying that he thinks the Absolute line and the Ultimates line are what really get all the press. Not sure how many people are buying Nightwing or Superman. To be honest with
I
you,
am.
no, but there's a lot, dude. Like Nightwing has the attention of a lot of people, man. Superman too has gotten, dude. If you go check the best, like DC's best selling comics of 2025, go check out the top 50 comics. In the last few months, you could break it down month by month. At all points, you're seeing the Absolute Universe. You're gonna see the Ultimate Universe. Then you'll get some of the big titles, like Imperial was an event that took place in Marvel. And again, it comes back to Ultimate stuff. You'll get the Ultimate Wolverine. You'll get Absolute stuff again, and then you'll get a random like #1 issue of like Death of the Silver Surfer, things like that. You know what I mean? Like that is what we're looking at. One World Under Doom. Like nobody even cared for it for some reason. Good things happen.
Great book. Travis right here raising his hand saying One World Under Doom. Love it. Love every issue I've ever read of it. It's fantastic. Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, it's wild to see, but let's see where it goes from here. I do think DC is going balls to the wall, and I am a bit concerned for Marvel. I will leave it at that. If it is coming to end on the Ultimate side, and DC continues to roll with the Absolute Universe, I hope Marvel has something else up their sleeve, and I'm sure they do. But I just want them to still, kind of like we were saying, pay attention to your readers, your fans, man, and like invest in that. Like give us the stories that clearly we want. Like I'm so tired of reading the same nonsense over and over, where it's things that just don't even matter. Doesn't advance the character's story development or anything in any way. Just it feels very filler on a lot of the titles coming out
That's
of
tough.
Marvel.
And that's tough because as a reader you want, like you're buying a stack of books and you're saying I bought 10 books. I really like I believe that. You're saying I bought 10 books. I really liked 4 of the 10 that I buy every month, right? And that publisher, let's say they're all from the same publisher, that publisher is now saying, nah, fuck it, we're cutting those 4 books. You're stuck with the 7 you don't like.
Yeah.
I don't understand the decision, but whatever. Right? Hey, it's whatever. It's a creative decision. You guys do your thing. It's all good.
You know what I'm saying by this? Like, I'm not saying listen to everything we say. I just reference wrestling as well. How like don't listen always to the marks, but there are certain things that when the momentum is there, when people are like very adamant about what they really want for something, man, and then they start to shy away, like it's time to listen. And I think Leftero's brought up the best point ever: the fact that they don't want to undo this with the whole Peter and MJ thing on the main timeline is absolutely ridiculous. Like I get it, now Paul's out of the equation, but don't give me hope, bro. You know what I mean? Like come on, let's move on. Let's advance Peter Parker's story in ways we want to see. Like I don't know. I'm liking where he's at now. Like I said, Joe Kelly is doing great stuff. So that being said, we'll see how all of this turns out. But for tonight, the last topic I want to talk about is the blind bags that came out by Mark Spears. The fallout from that. And what I mean by fallout is, what was people's reactions? Some of the stuff I was seeing on social media. Like I told you guys, my entire feed was full of people's, just opening up these bags, etc. Now, I saw a lot of positives, some negatives as well. And as you could see here, something that was, reoccurring on my feed, and I was seeing a lot of people saying this. You would have people like you could see here to the left. You have Darth Deuce who's saying, thanks to the gentleman, Nerd Feeder, for pre-ordering these blind bag monster #1. But what in the actual fuck is this dog shit? This is according to him. 77 covers, question mark. As you could see, he got, I think, 4 of the same and 2 others of the same. So he got 2 covers out of 6 blind bags. So he pretty much got the same shit over and over. And then to the right side, we were talking about Mr. Longshort a few times tonight, and again we're gonna shout him out because he says let me get this straight. There are 90 different covers for the Mark Spears blind bags. I got 2 of the same covers in 2 packs. The odds of that happening are like 0.00012. Something's way off here. Now, that's another thing that I had seen as well. People also got amazing hits. I saw a lot of people multiple different covers. And I mean multiple. Like if you ordered 6 bags, they got 6 different covers. They ordered 12 bags, 12 different covers. So I'm not too sure what ended up happening. Do we want to call that maybe just shitty luck? Or was it a distribution thing? I have no idea. But what I do know is when it comes to, example, the blind bag stuff, there's certain things where I was looking at, you know, there's foils in here. There's other things as well, right? And when I look at this, I'm hearing some crazy things that were happening. We know that people were opening the blind bags earlier, right?
Right.
And with the blind bags being opened earlier, we got to a glimpse of some of the books that are going to be available. One thing I will say is when it comes to the books that are available within these blind bags and the chases, we need to also be weary, be cautious, because I think, Mark Spears did a ton of work. He put a lot of work into this. Like you could tell it all came from the heart. He really wanted this to work out for its best. And then I'm hearing and seeing people doing some shady shit. Receiving these things. Guys, foils way more than an average comic. You throw it on a scale, you know which one is a foil out of your entire pack, right?
Right. Yeah, it is weird. It's weird. I don't know if we've been given an explanation. I'm not sure if it's okay. So Lefteris is saying that it's confirmed that the printer had some difficulty with shuffling. If that's the case, that's unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
All I can speak is from my personal experience is that, I bought 5 of them and got no duplicates. I don't, I'm not sure if it had anything. I don't know. I couldn't tell you one way or the other, but I bought them from somebody I really trust, and maybe that's the moral of the story here, I guess. Buy them from someone you really trust. I don't know. I mean, if you think something nefarious is happening here, then well, I would imagine you might have a couple duplicates out of 700, Lefty. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's Lepage has a point, and when I heard about the medals and everything being put into the blind bags, I felt odd because I felt like it's going to be very obvious. It's going to be very obvious what's in that bag without a question.
All it takes is a scale.
Right.
It takes is a scale. Yeah, and maybe your comic shop or maybe the whatnot seller who pre-ordered, let's say, 100 copies to sell on his platform. Dude, you get a scale, you weigh them one by one. Oh, here we go. We're slightly heavier on this one. This is probably a 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%. So, Corgi's all over it. The best way to not get duplicates is to just buy one.
Yeah, exactly. Just buy one. But I was seeing a lot of different feedback, etc. And yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I said, I really think, as Leftero said, he's saying that it was pretty much confirmed that they had difficulty with the shuffling, which I mean that kind of sucks because, like I said, it's not Mark Spears' fault. He did his work. He handed it over and really wanted this to work for the best. I'm sad to hear that some people had such experiences because I still think it was great on Mark Spears' behalf to even do this. Like I said, put a lot of work into this. So it is misfortune, I guess, for those who ended up with this kind of luck. But like I said, guys, do be cautious. Do be weary of these things. Like I just brought up, foils weighing more than the average regular comic without foil. There's people out there that do these things. I have a shop that I could trust significantly. It's Comic Legion. And when it comes to these things, Chiphead doesn't even want to go near a scale. And that's not a fat joke. I'm just saying, like, he does not care for these things. He doesn't even have the time for that. Neither does Lefteros. And just if you're pre-ordering, be cautious. I'm gonna start being selective as well, kind of like you just brought up, right? If I see that certain blind bags have these chases that where there's ways of spotting them and figuring it out prior, then I'm probably going to shy away from that.
Yeah, I agree. And again, my thing is, I just keep going back to that. Find someone you trust. Find someone you trust, and buy the books from that person. Like, buy from someone you know is not going to screw you over, and just go with it. That's it. So,
yeah, honestly, I don't know about that, man. I look, like I said, I've heard it firsthand, bro. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, it really only hit me after I said it. That's why I put emphasis on he doesn't have time, because I when it came out, I was like, no, it sounded like a fat joke, and I didn't mean that. So I just want to put that out there.
never gonna live that one down, big dog.
Exactly. You want your customers to get hits, man. It makes for fun. And yeah, man, like I said, guys, it's unfortunate that this happened to some people, but overall the experience seems to have been great. I've got like 12 blind bags that I'm waiting to pick up as well, so I can't wait to see what I get in those. But I'll cut off the show here because we're at the 2-hour and 43-minute mark. Holy cow, did we shoot this shit tonight?
This is what happens when you don't have me on for a while, bud. Everybody's got to sit through it. Sorry. So if anybody's fault, it's Lando's, y'all. He does the scheduling. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, pretty much. It is all my fault.
Thanks for trying, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to keep trying because I have to try again tomorrow night with you over on Covrprice. We've got the top 10, Travis. So I'm looking forward to kicking it again tomorrow night. I see that you added the scores at the bottom there for your teams. So yeah, congratulations to you. I'm just happy you continue to lose in all of our fantasy stuff. So that's all that matters.
Hey, I'm winning where it counts, boys. Winning where it counts.
Yes, you are. But all right, guys, we'll let you go because we kept you way too long. Travis, thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope to see you guys, those of you catching the replay and those of you watching live right now. Tomorrow night, like I said, Covrprice, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to bring you guys the top 10 books that sold within the last week. So we hope to see you there. If not, I will catch you back here next Sunday with a new guest talking about all the stuff that happens within the next couple of days. So have yourselves a great week. See you then. Adios.
Bye.